I started it. Let's get this
shit poured.
new bottle of whiskey. Some Four Roses single barrel.
Kentucky.
Lawrenceburg, Kentucky.
It's a wonderful region, especially this time of year. Episode 5 coming in hot. Run the music.
Run the music.
Smells pretty.
Does it?
It smells like bourbon.
It smells like bourbon.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah, pretty good.
Better than the other bottle I grabbed, and I was very disappointed with that one.
Yeah.
Also, couldn't get the one I wanted. So I wanted Weller's special reserved or something like that. Apparently they only get 2 shipments a year. I went to both the LCBO at Bayview and whatever, and then the one up by the highway, and both said they only get it twice a year, and it sells out like almost instantly.
How did you find out about this?
Somebody posted it on social media,
And you just wanted to
and they
try
were
it.
like, they're like, new bottle for the season.
Well, I'm sure they'd let you bring in a case. Like if you order a case of anything, they'll bring it in for you.
I'm pretty sure you can order a bottle off the LCBO right now.
It would be better to get it a case, I think. And I'll split a case with you.
I just don't know if it's good. Like if it's actually good. What I mean.
We drank many bottles of stuff that's not
How
that
many
good.
is in a case? 6?
12.
12 bottles? What if it's absolute dog shit?
Well, then you gotta fucking complain to Instagram advertising for putting you onto that.
No, it wasn't Instagram advertising. Some guy just picked up a bottle for like his podcast.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, new bottle for season 3.
Cool.
I'm like, well, I'll try it. Because the last one they had was like a fucking $130 bottle of whiskey.
How much is this usually?
From fucking Japan.
Oh, I'm not buying that.
No, this stuff, I think it was like 40, 45, maybe just over $50 for a fucking bottle. Like this was 45, $50 for the bottle.
Okay.
Not bad. I'm not complaining. I'm not going to go out and spend fucking $150 bottle, but
no,
between 30 and $60, I don't mind.
I don't mind doing that anytime.
Like, and again, how long does a bottle last? Like 4 episodes.
More or less, yeah.
Depends on how much we drank.
Today you're not driving, so
yeah. My dad dropped me off. Hopefully, I told him, I'm like, I don't know what the plan is. Like, I don't know how late I'm staying.
As long as you want.
I'm like, I might need to drive earlier than what Audrey gets off work. If she doesn't want to pick me up either, I might need a ride. So
we'll see how long this bottle lasts.
yeah. This one might only last us 2 days.
Just right off the top, we have an email now for anyone who wants to get in contact with us that doesn't have Instagram or anything like that.
Yeah, didn't see the social media posts about it.
Yeah, it's mail.twoseasonapod@gmail.com. That's TWOCSINAPOD@gmail.com. Also, follow CJ on Instagram at CJ Shade, SCHADE, and CJ Shade Photography for all of your photography needs.
Yes, sir.
Podcast. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there.
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone listening.
Yes.
How was yours?
It was good. So Saturday, Daryl and Marina came up to Audrey's place there. We had dinner at Audrey's parents. So that was cool. Like, got to see some family.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice. Fucking fantastic dinner. And then had dinner last night. So Sunday, my parents.
Nice.
And that was good. Nick and Reese came up. And
sweet.
Yeah, it was a good fucking time. Played a little road hockey.
Did you?
Yeah, just like, we have those like little green biscuits. So they're like a puck.
Yeah, they work pretty well.
They work fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And we were just out passing the puck around.
Who was in net?
Nobody.
No.
We didn't have pads.
Yeah.
We were going to strap up the little one with some pillows, but we thought that'd be a bad idea.
Oh, that's fine.
Builds character. Cry.
Builds character. It's fine. Just get in the way of it.
How was yours?
It was pretty good. I went dinner with my dad on Friday. Did my fiance's place on Saturday. I put myself into a food coma on Saturday.
It's easy to do on like holidays.
We were drinking in the afternoon. We ate pretty early. It was a good day and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Had some drinks, had a bit of smoke, and then after dinner we were all sitting around ice cream, like everyone's getting that like turkey sleep or whatever.
Where was this?
at Antonia's.
Okay, yeah.
Everyone's getting that turkey sleep, and we're all sitting around, and she had just fallen asleep. I'm like, you know what? I kind of feel like a bit more stuffing.
Oh.
So I go and grab the leftover stuffing, eat all of it. I ate all of it. That's 2.5 days ago now, and I'm still paying for it.
Holy
yeah, it was a pretty low moment. I went hard. I just kept I was like kind of sleepy. I'm like, you know what? I'm pretty hungry again. I just shoveled it in, and I didn't even realize I finished the whole fucking thing.
Fuck.
It was delicious, but it was a big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah.
Because it's been a rough couple days.
That's
in and
fucking...
out of the toilet.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. Did you put your phone on Do Not Disturb?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect, because I almost did. Also, are we still doing a Halloween special?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're doing a
I just don't know what day, so.
What's that, 2 weeks now? Halloween?
Something like that.
It's like a couple Saturdays or whatever.
Yeah.
So to that email we just mentioned, mail.2csinapod@gmail.com. Send in your scary stories, ghost stories, whatever it is.
Or even any links to articles that you've seen that
anything
you might not have had anything happen to you, but anything you think's interesting and Halloween related.
Yeah, send them in, and yeah, we'll pick our favorites and read them out on the Halloween special.
And if we only get one, then we're only reading one.
We're only fucking reading one.
But yeah, so my Thanksgiving was good. Aside from literally stuffing my face with all the stuffing that there was available to me.
Yeah.
It was good. And then last night was our anniversary. We're nice dinner. And
you guys end up going to the keg?
Yeah.
Nice. How was that?
It was good. Nice dinner and to sleep by 10. That's how you got to roll when you're when you've been together that long.
And you just had a crazy food coma the night before.
Oh, fuck. It was bad. It was and then I passed out for 2 straight hours. Like we all I shoveled it in. I'm like, oh, you know, I should probably sleep on this.
I'm just definitely going to sleep.
I was in rough shape the next day. Yeah. So you're, other than that, Thanksgiving's Thanksgiving. It's a weird fucking year for it.
Yeah.
Obviously. I think we touched on it a little bit last year.
We did.
But my grandmother passed away this week.
Yeah, sorry to hear about
that's
that.
Okay.
Man.
But the reason I want to bring this up is because I didn't realize what the funeral procedure was for COVID.
Yeah.
And it's fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's infuriating.
A lot of things are outrageous.
Yeah.
The restrictions and shit you can
do. I think I don't want to keep banging on this dead horse, just it's in my brain now, so it's fresh. But
no, go ahead.
So you're only allowed 30 people at the funeral, which is fine.
Yeah.
I can live with that, family and stuff. The visitation, however, you're only allowed 30 people per hour.
Yeah.
Or so I thought. No, it's not. You can't have 30 people in the place at a time and people got to wait outside. It's 30 people maximum for the hour visitation. That includes family as well. So,
and your family is not small.
We're 18.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, only my grandfather, my mom, aunt, and uncle are going so that we can allow for other people to go to all of his. So no grandchildren, no immediate family members are allowed to go to their grandmother's visitation.
That's fucking
We're only
insane.
able to go. I said, why can't we do this in the parking lot?
Yeah.
They impose such strict restrictions on them. This is a funeral home. What do we We got lucky because if there's another funeral going on, we wouldn't be able to do anything.
And it's in Aurora, isn't it?
Yeah, but 30 people. So they give you 1 hour, 1 hour for a visitation. Yeah. 30 people.
Yeah.
Then they got to shut down for an hour and clean the entire place. Reopen again, visitation, do the whole process, rinse, repeat, and you have to book that you're going to come to the visitation.
Yeah.
So you can't just show up. You got to call ahead.
Can't, so this is what I'm going to, if per se I were to come and just sit in the parking lot and be like, yo, tell your mom to come outside. Yeah,
you can probably do something like that.
Yeah.
Or just call them the day of and just be like, what times are available? Or it depends on whatever time you can go. But yeah, so no grandchildren are allowed to go, which is insane. So the thing that I thought, to me, 30 people at a time makes sense. Let people wait outside like you do at the grocery store. Yeah. Almost every time I go to the grocery store, I got to stand in line and wait. But they're not they're not letting X amount of people in, and then you got to wait while they close, while they wash everything down, and then let the next batch in. They just keep rolling you through.
I haven't even seen a lineup. So I went to Longo's on...
Bourbon's making me warm.
Is it? Yeah. It's a little chilly in the garage today. But I went to Longo's on Saturday. Terrible fucking idea.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving weekend.
I had to pick up some shit. I had to get some toiletries. I was going to the LCBO anyways because I'm like, I got to go today. We weren't doing anything crazy at Audrey's parents other than Daryl and Marina were coming over. So I'm like, I'm just going to run out. I'm going to go grab some whiskey. I may as well go to Longo's. I picked up a few things for the house and some like toiletry stuff. And dude, the place was jammed.
Yeah.
I don't know how they didn't have a line and started like restricting people to like, okay, you gotta
alleviate
fucking
the pressure
chill.
inside the store. Yeah.
Nope.
So
walk right in.
You got 500 people. I understand the grocery stores are very essential too, but let's not lose our fucking humanity. Like our grandmother passed away when the restrictions are the easiest for funeral homes. Yeah. I've heard some crazier shit where you only allowed 10 at one point.
Yeah, so when...
Like, what the fuck?
When my uncle
what if
passed
you have 5
away,
kids?
When my uncle passed away, we didn't go to the visitation because it was the same shit.
I can't go. Yeah,
same thing. It was the same thing. Like, we're only allowed this amount of people for the hour. You have to register beforehand. You had to register to go to the funeral.
Yeah.
And so we're like, we'll see you at the funeral.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you can do.
Let other people because there's some people that only go to the visitation. They're not going to try to go to the funeral.
It's the same as us, yeah.
Right? So
just
let
family.
Let them go. And like I was going to tell you, like after the podcast today, I'm like, dude, I probably won't go to the, like either or unless you want me there.
No, it's fine.
Because again, there's probably other people that actually knew your grandma. I'd love to go for your mom. And,
no, don't worry about that.
Like your aunt and uncle and everybody. But at the same time, like with the way the fucking shit is, there's probably other people that would enjoy to go.
Yeah.
And especially if you can only have fucking 30 people at the funeral and there's 18 of you.
It's just back to the fucking hypocritical
It's so
shit. It's
stupid.
But then they just blame everyone. It's like, oh, well, the reason the cases are getting higher is because you guys aren't doing your part. It's like, I'm fucking doing my part. Yeah. Like,
again, it's everyone, the 1% that isn't.
No, I don't even think it's that. I don't.
No?
But I think it's more to that, but I don't have enough information on that to fucking speak about it. Not like a conspiracy. I haven't looked at the science behind why it's spreading so rapidly right now so I don't even want to talk on it.
There have been like back in what's the September long weekend?
Labor Day
weekend, me and Audrey went to an outdoor wedding, but there was still like 60, maybe 70 people there. Mm-hmm. And it's like, again, like how many other weddings started happening again around that time?
And I'm fine with that.
No, so am I. But again, like I think that's why we're seeing more numbers. Kids are back in school. Now like there's just so much shit that's coming back
147 cases of kids and out of 200 and something thousand.
Yeah, no,
it's
I know.
Pretty low.
But still,
no, it still adds.
Like
adds up.
We're opening up more and bringing more stuff in, and like that's why we're seeing more cases. Like,
fuck. Yeah, I don't know.
They're
strict as fuck about some things, and then things like
so lenient on others.
Yeah,
like how does this make sense?
Just don't fucking lose your humanity, because fuck, I'm like, my grandmother was in her 80s. Like, we're lucky as a family. Like, this wasn't a tragic. Like, it's sad she's gone.
Yeah.
But it's not like she died suddenly. Like, she lived past the life expectancy. We did pretty well as a family.
Yeah.
That's the only death we've had in our family. We're doing really well.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna fucking say poor me. I'm thinking of people that their dad suddenly died in a heart attack and their brother can't go to the funeral. Like shit like that. Like, that stuff is fucking. Where's our humanity gone because of the fucking virus? Like. Yeah. We gotta fucking be a bit smarter about that stuff.
Yeah,
that's my fucking rant on that.
Again, some of the shit just there's got to be exceptions, and again, but it's tough because as soon as you start doing exceptions for like certain things, then like this person wants it or this and it's a never-ending cycle, right?
Yeah, it just circles right round and round.
They're either got to be super fucking strict or fucking not strict at all.
But on that topic of fucking being strict and not strict. The same people that are telling us not to be strict. Did you see this on Friday?
No.
I say this is from Ottawa Public Health.
Okay.
One of the hot spots in the province. This is fucking hilarious.
Okay.
This was Friday morning before long weekend. So this is 4 days ago. Again, Ottawa Public Health. These are the people saying, and there goes the fucking phone.
She's picking me up after after work tonight.
Okay, so these are the same brainiacs that are telling us that you can't go to your grandmother's funeral, you can't go to restaurants, all this shit. These are the same fucking health officials.
Yeah.
Hello. Some of you might be wanting to engage in the sex this weekend. Please be safe and be COVID wise. Stick to sexual partners or partners you live with, or consider virtual sex. Wash your hands. Wash your hands before and after sex. Also, you should probably wash your fucking dirty privates after you have sex,
wash
too.
your fucking dinky.
Use a condom, because we all know that sneezing penises produce COVID.
Yeah, it's true.
Avoid kissing / sex if you are 6. Some of you...
If you are 6?
If you're sick. If you're sick. Also, if you're sick.
Oh my God.
Some of you might be wanting to engage in the sex this weekend.
That's what it says?
That's what it said.
The sex?
That's what it says, word for word. That was the whole... But like, the other things are just like, okay, let's practice safe sex, sure. Yeah. But engage in the sex this weekend. You might be wanting to engage in the sex. Is fucking Borat here? What are we doing? So anyways, these are the people that say you can't go to your grandmother's funeral. And they're writing shit like that and putting it out.
The sex.
And they want to be taken seriously. Not that they shouldn't be taken seriously, but come on, you can't fucking say that shit and not expect me to make fun of it.
That shit's fucking hilarious.
The sex.
Yo, the sex. If you want to partake in the sex.
Also consider virtual sex. The fuck is virtual sex?
I was going to say, I know there's virtual reality like porn, but there's not a whole lot of it. So you're probably only watching one flick. You got 3 days. 4 if you include Friday.
What if you live alone? You're fucked.
That's too many times to watch one flick.
Unacceptable, Ottawa Public Health.
That is absolutely hilarious, dude. Oh, man. Okay, I found out. So you know at St. Andrews, the little pulley system for the golf ball? Mm-hmm. It's a Canadian made.
I didn't know that.
One of the co-founders followed me the other day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Cool.
He plays like the amateur pro scene around here. But he's also it's called the Ping Caddy.
Yes.
And he's one of like 4 dudes from Canada that made it.
That's awesome. So for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, there's a little cup that sits in the bottom of the hole and it's got like a little flag on the end of it and you just lift it up.
Yeah, with your
it doesn't obstruct you from playing at all. The ball goes in the hole nicely.
It's perfect.
Just stops you from putting your fucking dirty COVID hands in the hole. And
no, I honestly, it is kind of a pain in the ass sometimes because the ball doesn't want to come out all the time.
Otherwise, it's pretty fucking good.
But it's better than the fucking styrofoam or up down cups because it's
golf.
Oh, it's hitting the pin and then dropping in. And as of last year, you can leave the pin in when you putt.
So nothing's changed.
So nothing has changed. It's just now you can't stick your hand in the fucking cup. So now when you putt, it's like, oh, it hit the like noodle or whatever and bounced out. Mm-hmm. Oh, that would have been good. Now you don't even have to fucking worry about that because it would have fallen or not.
Do you know if these guys put these out there just for COVID reasons? I know that they were very popular.
I haven't really looked into it. The guy followed me. I went to their thing and it was like the guys from Canada and I think so are the other 3 guys. And
because I know at the start of the year, my neighbor is a superintendent at a private golf course, nice one, and he told me about them back in March before the courses had even opened. That I'm like, so what's going to happen with the cups? Because they were still deciding what the fuck they were going to do.
Yeah.
And he said they have these things that are ping caddies or something to that effect. And basically, it's exactly what this is. So I think they've been on back order at every course throughout.
I would imagine. They probably...
Because the course that we've been playing, they only just switched over in the last month or so.
I wonder if it was something in the works like prior.
That's what I'm thinking.
You gotta think, right? Like, there's a lot of old people that play golf. How many of them actually, like older people that have a tough time bending over I know
a few of them,
right? So like to have that again, it's not obstructing anything as long as like at the end of the day, if you wanted the pin out, like once we all go back to normal, if you can still pull the pin out, that thing's going to stay attached.
Away you go. Then you're good.
Then you're fine. Leave it fucking in there.
They'll probably stay forever. Like you said,
again, as long as you
if you can lift it out and it just, but I think it clips onto the thing, so it might.
I think so too. I think it'd be fine because again, like the way I've seen it is like there's a hook from one side and then at the bottom there's another hook. My thing is one, how does it get on there? Is it kind of like you kind of got to like work your way in there type shit?
That's a 14-year-old's job to figure out.
Yeah, but still, like as long as you can pull the pin out after
when
this
it goes
whole
back
fucking
to normal
pandemic shit's over, it's not going to fall off and you don't have to fiddle getting it back in so other people still have the option to use it or whatever.
Yeah, they're going to stay forever.
Yeah, I think that's...
I didn't know they were Canadian.
Neither did I. And again, like I thought that was pretty fucking sweet.
I know that they must be booming right now. Dude. That's one of those industries, if they thought of it beforehand...
Yeah,
they're the ones that did the opposite effect. Like some people just started businesses in March and then businesses closed and everything. People lost everything.
Yeah,
these guys just started a business that fucking COVID accelerated through the roof. Yeah, unless they just thought like, hey, we need this for COVID and
so my thought is I don't know if
it's not high technology. It's really simple.
Really not. Yeah, like I saw it. So when I was scrolling through their Instagram, one of their most recent posts was we upgraded the rubber at the end where you pull with your putter, and they're like, we upgraded the rubber so it's like never gonna break, it's not gonna fall off, and it's like
super
the best.
durable. Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. But again, like I'm wondering if like this was something the four of them thought of when the pandemic hit, and they're like, yo, how are we gonna be able to play golf? We need to know like how are we going to use the cup? Like, again, a lot of people are using pool noodles or flipping the cups upside down. Stop flipping the cups upside down. I think that's the worst.
Yeah, the
worst method. Either go pool noodle because they're fucking dirt cheap. You can probably get like 9 holes out of one fucking noodle.
I'm just looking at them right now.
Or fucking buy this pin caddy or whatever I called it.
$35.
Fuck.
That's it.
Come on, that's fucking half a round.
Yeah, I'm on their website right now. Patents pending. I'm guessing
if patents pending, then it's new.
It's got to be, because also on the top it says they're facing they design right here. Given the global situations and problems that golf courses are facing, we designed the pin caddy. So that answers the questions right there. They did make this for COVID.
Does it say
fucking great idea?
Canadian made or
yeah, it's Canada.
Yeah,
right off the hop.
Because I knew the one guy he followed me.
They ship international, US.
Sorry,
and stuff,
I don't know your name, but shout out to those guys, man.
Yeah, no, great idea, and it worked perfect.
Yeah. Also, I don't think I can golf this Thursday, by the way.
That's fine.
I got to work, and I honestly have no idea what time I'll be done.
Yeah, we can talk about after.
Yeah. Yo, so I had a fucking crazy fucking dream the other day. Not crazy in the sense like what happened, but have you ever thought that like when you're dreaming that like what's happening in like your subconscious is somewhat happening like in like around you at the time?
Sure. Yeah.
Because I was having a dream. I was in a room. I have no idea what I was doing in the room in my dream. And then next thing I knew, somebody fucking opened the door to the room I was in. And I woke up to Audrey fucking flying through the door like 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've had those before.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
I think
I think Inception is.
Let's start with the first one. I think it's when you start to wake up, like how many times you've been woken up by like music or people talking, and they'll work their way into your dream. It's you slowly waking up, and then it's like boom, it happens right away. Yeah. It is strange.
Fucking weird.
Well, here's the reason. I think dreams are heavily involved with DMT.
Okay.
Which your brain creates.
Okay.
So DMT is in like ayahuasca. Yeah. I think it's in all plants. It's like, so when you do a lot of mushrooms, you're getting fucking DMT, I think.
Okay.
You can also smoke this shit and it takes you out into the middle. I know
DMT is something you can like just do like.
Yeah, it's a very extreme psychedelic.
Yeah.
So your body creates it all the time.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
So.
Just in manageable doses.
Yeah. Well, when you do it, your body will return down to base level within like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it's just like it rebalances everything out.
Right.
I think DMT is in everything. And our body has shit in our stomachs that helps break it down so that we don't trip balls constantly.
Yeah.
So that has something, they say that has something to do with your dreams. So that's why dreams are so fucking strange and stuff like that. Also, when you do a lot of fucking psychedelics, it activates, or you're on DMT.
Yeah.
So the fucking trippy thing is they think that DMT, the reason we create it is because when we die, it takes us out of our bodies.
Okay.
This is the weird part.
I like it.
So there's a lot of people that have near-death experiences, and they talk about like going out into the middle of the universe, like seeing like different seeing creatures,
like their version floated out of
their body experience. And they think that that your body is creating DMT because it thinks you're about to die.
Like it creates
and so
more
a lot of
DMT, and then you start
floods your brain with DMT, so you go out of your mind. And
you're having a great time.
Drift off into whatever dreamland we go to.
Might not be having a great time, but you're having a great time.
Drift off into whatever dreamland you're going to in the afterworld, if there is one.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that near-death experiences, people say like they're alien abductions and all this stuff. So that can take you out into the middle of the universe. The woo-woo thing is... woo-woo is that the DMT actually transitions you from this dimension to the next one that you go to when you die. And that's the reason that it's made.
That's wild.
That's
yeah,
the weird
no,
one.
I was just thinking
there's a whole documentary on
it. I'm like, holy fuck.
that it can be explained much better.
trust, I've had other situations like that, but like this one like was the most recent, obvious. But yeah, it was fucking wild. Like I was dreaming I was in a room, and then next thing I knew, like somebody opened the door, and at the same time I woke up to Audrey like coming into the room.
So this had happened before she actually entered the room.
Yeah, it was like
almost like bing bang.
It was almost
pretty
like
close.
Instantly, like it was pretty fucking spot on, and I woke up to her coming in the room.
It's strange. Dreams are fucking freaky.
Let me tell you, she didn't do it very quietly.
No, she basically kicked the door in like the ATF.
No, she probably did come in quietly, but it just sounded like fucking
a herd of elephants storming through. You're probably waking up already.
Again, yeah.
Because I've been in that, like, where I hear people talk, and now they're in my fucking. I don't really remember my dreams, but I know that feeling of like it works its way in right before you wake up, and it's happening around you.
Happening,
yeah,
or like you have
a strange
dream
feeling.
And then like what do they call it? Deja vu.
Yeah,
and it's like fuck, man, I've been here.
I have deja vu all the fucking time,
dude. It's crazy.
I have it so often, it freaks me.
I have it. I used to have it pretty often, and now it's like here and there. But what's crazy is like I remember there was a time. I think we were at your place and it was just like me, you, and Rob, and maybe somebody else.
Sure.
And I'm like, fuck, like I full out remember this exact conversation. Like word for word, what was either coming out of your mouth or Rob's mouth.
Yeah, it's like you had it before.
I remember everything and I'm like, what the fuck, man? As
Sturgill Simpson says, it's all been done 2 or 3 times anyway.
It probably has.
I think so. Listen, we don't know anything about anything. No, we don't know the state of the universe. We don't I'm not going to dismiss fucking anything along those lines.
Neither am I.
I don't think anything's out of the realm of possibility, considering some of the shit that scientists say, like inside every fucking black hole's another universe. So like that fucking shit goes on forever and ever. So if that's not crazy, which is crazy to hear.
Yeah, well, it's crazy because
it's not crazy to think that you're born again every time you fucking die.
We have no fucking okay,
no concept of it.
Yeah, maybe some scientists have seen shit from like watching spacecrafts and all this other stuff, but like your regular Joe,
we're also
like
scientists,
us,
by the way.
Like we have no concept or like even visualization of like what this could actually fucking be.
Nothing.
Like it's absolutely absurd, but at the same time, like I don't knock pretty much anything because who the fuck knows?
No one knows.
Dude, it's absolutely insane.
So I said last week I went from being religiously atheist to religiously agnostic because being fully atheist is fucking, I realized it was very arrogant to be like, I know that nothing happens. Well, actually, I don't fucking know anything.
Yeah. But again, maybe nothing does happen.
But maybe nothing does happen.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I completely agree with pretty much like all of them because anything is possible. Like,
I just don't know. That's what I know.
I'm a bigger believer that there's not just like one higher power. Like I'm more in belief that there's a few or a couple.
I think it has something to do with different dimensions. I'm with you. I don't think there's a dude sitting up in the clouds pulling all the strings,
fucking doing everything. Like
I don't think it's that. I think there's some sort of level of consciousness that operates within the universe that we can't clue into unless we're in certain states or if we're dying, if we're fucking whatever. I think it exists around us at all times. Like, I think we said this before, like Bumblebee, like reality is so subjective to everything. So deer see light that you and I can't see.
Yep.
So their reality, just based on different colors and lights that they can and can't see, is completely foreign and different to our world. Yeah. And that's one species on this planet, which is made up of untold godly numbers. I think there's like 500,000 different types of beetles.
Dude, and again, there's new species.
Their level of consciousness goes on around us at all times.
Dude, we only know like fucking maybe 3% of the oceans by now. I know a few years ago it was only 1% of the fucking water. Like of our oceans, we knew 1%.
Yeah.
Which is absurd. Like we know more about space than we do our oceans.
I don't even think we know that much about space.
But that's the scary part. Like, we don't even know.
We have a lot of good... I shouldn't say that. There's a lot of fucking... I listen to a lot of scientists who talk about space because it's fascinating. They know a fucking shitload of stuff about space.
Yeah, but again, it's
there's also dark matter, which is like... makes up 80... I'm going to look this number up because it's absurd.
Yeah, I bet.
Dark matter, which they don't know what it is, makes up majority of the things in the universe. Let me just find this number before I fuck this up because...
space is fucking insane. And the fact that, like... Again, like, we do know a lot about space, but at the same time, like, if they say space is what it actually is, where like our universe is a super tiny fucking place and there's all these other smaller or bigger universes out there, that's like infinite possibilities and like so much more. But the scary thing is that we know more about space, which is fucking how many fucking kilometers away, yet we can't even...
Well, they actually don't even use kilometers. They measure in terms of light years.
Yeah, well, that's fucking crazy.
Because kilometers and miles don't even matter. No, it's so far. Yeah.
But like the fact that we know more about that and we can't even get down to the bottom of like Mariana's Trench.
James Cameron did it. The director of Titanic.
Really?
Yeah, he did it in a homemade submarine.
He got down to the bottom.
We went right down to the bottom. There's a YouTube video you can watch on it.
Oh, fuck. I didn't know they got down to the bottom.
He got right down there. And a personal man sub. Guy's a fucking lunatic for doing that. The guy makes films. He makes Avatar. And he's like, you know what? I think I should jump in this fucking sub and go down to the bottom of Mariana's Trench. And he fucking did it.
He must love it.
So back to fucking things we don't know about the universe. So dark matter is a form of matter thought to account for approximately 85% of all the matter in all the universe and a quarter of its total mass energy. So 85%, they know it exists.
Is dark matter.
And they don't know. Well, the reason they call it dark matter is because they don't know what it is.
Holy
and that makes up 85% of all the things that are, all of the forces in the universe.
Holy fuck.
So you're going to tell me within that, there's not, like, let's say out of that 85%, there's 0.01%. That's a different form of consciousness that we elevate to after we pass on or whatever, or can connect to that's always existing around us. Because if dark matter is 85% of everything, and we don't even know what the fuck it is, there's no way you can say, like, anything definitive. Everything's fucked. Yeah, 85%.
That's why.
Know it exists and don't know what it is.
Oh my God.
Which goes to show you how fucking smart scientists are.
Yeah.
Give them fucking credit because they figured out, like, these math problems aren't working. There must be something out. And then they figured out, went through all the fucking years of trial and error, however you do the scientific method to ensure that this is not a fucking faulty claim. Yeah. So they figured out that 85% they can't figure out what 85% of this shit. Can't even see it, don't know what it is, but know that it's actively impacting everything around it. And they're like, we don't know. We don't know. So don't fuck,
man.
So anything is possible. We could fucking live and die 6 fucking times. The other thing is the universe. I actually just saw something fucking today about this. The universe is so fucking big that they think that it's so big that it has to repeat in itself. So everything has to keep...
what's happening right now
is already happening or currently happening in the exact form that it's happening.
In a different fucking place.
And scientists say that, and we're like, yeah, okay, that doesn't sound crazy. But when you think about it, that sounds fucking totally insane.
Yeah.
And then someone says, like, well, there's a dude in the cloud that made heaven and hell and Adam and Eve, and we're like, that's so dumb. It's fucking as dumb as that other statement.
Yeah.
That's why
it's on the same fucking level.
It's on the same level because they don't fucking know. It's fun as shit to think about.
After this podcast, I don't know if you've seen it, but apparently there's a show or a documentary with Bob Lazar on Netflix. You've seen it?
I've seen it.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Is it good?
It's great.
I've heard fucking phenomenal things about it.
Yeah. It's freaky.
Yeah.
It's freaky.
Also, quick, did you know that dreams only last for like 10 seconds or something like that? Like, it's absurdly short.
Oh, so the Inception's definitely real then.
That's what I mean.
That's why you said that. Now that makes sense.
Yeah, like, again, pull it up on your laptop. How long does the average dream last? Pretty sure it's like fucking 10 seconds.
And it feels like hours.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm in a dream for...
And you'll wake up and think you're still in the dream.
Half a day.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. And again, that was 10 seconds. So when you wake up and like from a dream like I did, which I thought the dream was at least like an hour, was only 10 seconds, roughly.
It says they vary from a few seconds or approximately 20 to 30 minutes, but more likely just seconds.
Like, that's absurd. Like, sure, you could have dreams
People are
that
more
are
likely
like
to
30 minutes,
remember the dream if they are awakened during the REM phase, which is weird because that's your deepest point.
Yeah.
So why would you remember that? Maybe because you're so involved in the dream.
You're so fucking deep into it. You're fucking Inception
levels ultimate.
Yeah.
You're playing expert level
Inception. You're fucking 4 levels in, bro.
This is real science.
That movie fucking tripped me out when I saw it. Like, just to think that, like, when you sleep, that you could be in a dream, sleep again, go into another dream, sleep again, and then it takes like a ripple effect. Like, something has to happen in like the first one, the second one, and then like to wake up
all the way up the ladder. Again, that's a story that's written, but it's fun as fuck to think about.
But I could definitely, again, like,
well, back to what we were saying before. If you're reliving this life, right?
Like, how many times do you fucking wake up thinking you're fucking falling down a set of stairs, or
yeah, like you stun yourself awake?
That's Inception, man. Like, that's how they did it. If you watch a movie, like,
yeah, they'd
be like leaning it, or the guy would be in a chair and
tip him over and wake him up.
Yeah, the guy would tip him over, or fucking dump water on his face or whatever.
Wakes him all the way up the ladder.
And when he wakes up, it's because he was drowning.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild, man.
Well, think about this. If we're gonna get fucking trippy, so if dreams,
this is a trippy episode.
Yeah. if dreams are something, I'm just thinking this off the top of my head, so bear with me. If dreams are something that are sort of memories, or you're reliving past, so like if you have a dream about something, like you were saying before, and I've had that experience where
like a deja vu.
Like, it'll be months later, I'm like, I fucking feel like I've done this before, and I feel like I had a dream about it or something like that. Something to that effect. So if that's us reliving a lifetime or going through this again, is the dream our reality then? And are we currently in the dream, or are we going back to it? I'm not trying to get too fucking trippy. I'm trying to find a way to word this without it doesn't fucking make any sense.
So what you're saying is like, did the dream...
No, all right, I got it now.
Okay.
So what we're doing right now, is this the dream because we're currently on our deathbed and dying, and now we're dreaming about our past lives, and that's why we're going through everything, and it feels like we've done it before, but we're just recounting it because we're currently, our brains are getting soaked with DMT, and we're fucking our family's sitting around us, just going through your fucking life, and then they kick it. Think about that one.
Yeah, no. I can see that. Like, again, dreams are fucking wild. It just tripped me out that, like, they can, I think it said, like...
Want to reload a drink?
I'll have one. I'll finish this one. Okay. I'm a little slow today. It's just trippy to think that, like, it went, like, your average dream, again, I could be blowing shit out of my ass, but like,
we certainly are. We absolutely
I think I saw, like, your average dream is somewhere between, like, 10 and 20 seconds.
It said a couple seconds the average there when I looked it up.
Hello? Like, my dreams, I think, were in there for, like, half a day.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this question, because I don't, my fiance fucking remembers her dreams. I don't remember my dreams. I almost never remember my dreams.
Okay, I remember them sometimes, but again, like, I feel I'd say majority of dreams I don't remember. And I feel like I didn't have a dream that night.
For me, most of the time I just go to sleep and I wake up and that's it.
Yeah, but like I have a few times a month, like maybe 3, 4 that I remember
on average, I'm just saying.
Like actually remember it. And even then that could be a high number.
I couldn't even.
I don't keep track. The only
ones I seem to remember is like I've had like a dream and like it's an obscure place and time, and then I have some sort of deja vu episode back to that.
Okay.
Now, like in the real life, I'm like, fuck, I think I had that dream a couple months ago.
There's a lot of times I have deja vu and it's like, fuck, I've been here, but I don't recall. Like, I'm like, oh, I probably dreamt it, but it's like, did I?
Yeah, exactly. Like I was going to say, like, it could definitely be my mind playing tricks on me 100%. Or I'm piecing together, like, I had this weird fucking strange dream, and this one little factor happened in it, the fact that maybe you were there. And then I'm like, oh, fuck, I dreamt about this. You know what I mean? Like, I could definitely be fucking with my own brain.
Yeah.
I was getting a lot of deja vu last year, and I was getting it.
Like, how often?
It felt like daily.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was getting a lot of it. And then I realized that, like, 90%...
Too much DMT?
Yeah, too much DMT. And I realized, I'm like, did I eat a full bag of mushrooms before I came to work today? No, it was fucking... I realized that because I was working in the same spot and I'd been there for a year, a lot of the tasks became repetitive and the location was repetitive. And then I would zone out, and then I'd snap to and be like, whoa, fucking deja vu. It would be like, I've thought about this since.
Yeah.
And I would say that accounted for, and I think I had deja vu daily last year or close to it.
Oh,
and I would say that would account for probably 98% of it. But still, I think that's a pretty high number of fucking deja vu.
Holy.
Yeah. So I probably have schizophrenia.
You might. You might. That would explain a lot.
I don't even know what the fuck.
I have no idea.
How often do you think you get it? So
Deja vu?
Yeah. All right. So that puts me
Couple
down to
times
maybe
a year.
like that puts me down to like maybe weekly,
Probably a couple times a year.
and I think it gets less. But I think I'm putting myself.
It's almost maybe seasonal, maybe 4 times a year.
It's quarterly.
Yeah.
I think it's me like putting myself into repetitive situations, and then like because I'll just zone out, and then it definitely feels like I don't think I'm having deja vu as often as I'm making myself think I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like something will happen, but like, oh fuck, deja vu, and then there's definitely like, but I think it's like your brain glitching out for a second, isn't it? Like in the Matrix, it was like there was a reason, it was a glitch in the Matrix, and that's how you knew that the robots were coming to fucking try and kill you. Because they would work their way through the code.
I don't remember.
You should rewatch it, especially if we're talking about this.
Loved The Matrix when it came out.
Definitely rewatch it because we've been talking about the concept of reality. Again, there's another option.
I've also said I was going to watch a lot of shit.
That's all right. Get around to it.
Have not watched.
Don't worry about it.
Any of it.
I don't even remember.
Audrey goes, we watched the first episode of Black Mirror. Couldn't even tell you what happened in it.
It's too much
I guess I gotta rewatch it. I watch a lot of shit, man.
Yeah. So we were talking about trippy shit. So back to the Matrix thing.
I can't wait. I'm gonna bring up mine.
Yeah. But back to the concept of reality. If this is reality, who's to say that the Matrix? Exactly. Well, we don't know. Maybe we were in the Matrix. Maybe we're not. Maybe this is the only fucking thing that we got. That's also possible too.
Wake me up, motherfucker!
I don't think you want to wake up. I heard someone say about it, like was talking about the thing, like, do we live in a simulation and stuff like that? And someone made a point, like if we do. Yeah. Do you really want to wake up from the simulation and find out what the fuck's on the other side? I don't know. Like, could we really handle that information? And probably not. Like, we're all like, what the fuck's this whole life really about? But then we find out, we're like, oh, I wish I didn't know that. What are you going to do with that information?
Yeah.
Probably kill yourself.
So again, I think the simulation part is a little, at least for me, is a little on the far-fetched side. I don't knock it. It's just not my first, like, go-to. And the only reason is I just, like, because you got to think, like, that, like, that's a lot of time. Unless it's, like, a dream where, like, our entire lives end up being 30 fucking minutes of, like, that person's simulation. At the same time, I feel like
we could also be non-player characters in a fucking video game.
Yeah, like, it's so fucking weird.
It is weird. I think the simulation theory is the most likely of all the things.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
And it comes down to the, like, mathematicians and scientists that I've heard talk about it. They explain it in a much better fashion than I'm going to attempt to explain it to you. But basically, because I try to, I've said a lot of things that don't have any basis in science and reason, but for the most part, I do like try to evaluate things on a reasonable thing. Like, I try to listen to fucking what people say that know what the fuck they're talking about. So the idea basically comes down to, if you think that we're going to evolve, like if our civilization continues to progressing, we have no interruptions, and our technology progresses, do you think that at some point we could create, like, a pretty complex simulation that maybe you could jump in and out of, like some sort of complex video game?
Yo, 100%. Look at the way VR is going. They have vests now that you can, like, fight somebody, and if you get hit, it vibrates and you feel it.
So that said, if you think that human beings will eventually get to that point, then mathematically we've probably already gotten to that point.
Yeah.
And because I think at that point, this dude fucking said it was like 1 in 10 million, the odds. So the odds are like 1 in 10 million that you're the first generation that was alive before the simulation was created. The guy explained it way better than me, and I'm doing a bad job, but he just broke it down on a mathematical scale. He's like, if you think that this is possible for human beings to achieve, which I think it's totally reasonable, especially what you're saying with VR and all that stuff. So let's say a million years in the future, we keep going on the path we are. We can probably create a very complex simulation. So once that simulation takes place, then everything is within the simulation after that.
Let me ask you this. So if you die in the simulation...
I don't know the rules.
If we die, are we dead?
I don't know.
Like, is that dude dead? Or do we just fucking clock in like a new fucking thing?
The people I've heard talk about it, and I haven't thought about it either... Because that shit doesn't matter. That's just hypothetical.
Yeah.
That's like within the thing. But they just focus on the numbers of, like, the odds of a civilization creating a simulation and then creating a very complex simulation that you would probably be a part of.
Now, let me throw this out to you. Is the simulation... Okay, so let's say there's 100,000 people in this simulation, and a lot of these people, like our neighbors and shit, are just like fucking AIs that are just put into this simulation to continue like regular life. Now is the simulation to see how fast we can colonize, because if you think back to like Adam and Eve, like kind of we land on Earth and we colonize and then start to like build, and we go through like the Stone Age and then all this other shit. Is it to see how fast we can progress as humans to get to this technology thing, so that like when we do, we can again go to like Mars or somewhere out of this universe.
I would think they probably
colonize.
I would think they would use the high tech simulations to forecast how the best way to do it. Because
how fast
at that point, probably AI is probably the thing that's created the simulation. So I think that once AI is created on some level, it'll solve a fuckload of problems that we can't physically solve, because it can compute at an infinite exponential level. So yeah, maybe that's the reason that they're doing it. But we live within it because it's so high tech, and because they need the simulation to be so realistic. You and I think we're fucking real, but we're just part of this fucking thing that's on fast forward 1.5 million years to see what happened. What happens if fucking Hitler lost World War II? That's a simulation we're living in. You know what I mean? Like it could be anything, or that just took place to see about something like that doesn't even matter in the big picture of everything.
So what if our entire like all the stuff like everything we've gone through, like World War II, fucking even before that with like fucking Spartans.
Go back 500,000 years.
Like all that shit was
like
documented.
Erectus,
we figured it out, but then somebody created a simulation, and in that simulation, again, maybe Hitler did win. In like in the people of the simulation, like that are controlling it,
they're probably watching to see what variables took place.
Right. So now.
Yeah.
The life we're in right now, Hitler lost.
Yeah, thankfully.
But like out of the simulation, he won, and they're trying to see like what would have happened.
That's a fun thought.
Because they can calculate or change.
So we're inside the simulation within the Third Reich, fucking ruling the world.
Yeah,
that's a funny thought.
And they're just like fucking Trump got elected. They just wanted to see what fucking happened.
What led up to those circumstances?
Yeah, like why? Like. What would have happened?
What would have happened?
What would happen?
Here's a question. You can do that with anything. What would happen if the bubonic plague never exists? That wiped out like huge percentage of the world's population.
That's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they dropped a fucking
atomic bomb twice,
right?
Yeah.
What'll happen? And this is where life has gone. And now they're just. This was something they wanted to see what would have happened.
I just want to read you something because it's on this topic of the simulation. Yeah. It's from a song called Omniverse by Graydon Square.
Okay.
So it's a really cool song. This guy just fucking raps about space and shit.
Yeah.
Where are we here? Nowhere to hide, the vast smothers him a gram's number of gigaparsecs to the upper rim. Hyperrealms, absent temporal cause. Every unique cosmic set with different physical laws. Plus every species capable of computation probably has some supercomputer run simulations, with a population trying to explain it with its own Dr. Gates and its own language. Dirty windshields hinder our comprehension while tracking down great attractors aiming for ascension. From here, the multiverse looks like sheets of paper in a library of books near the speed of lasers. So basically, that's exactly what we were just talking about. Yeah. Where if we think that this whole thing's every fucking species trying to do the same thing, and then just creates all these fucking supercomputers.
Like think of it.
This is just a rap song. So I just think it's fun to talk about.
I play a lot of video games. I have played a lot of video games. My thing is, like, what if there's like settings you can change? Like again, like Hitler does or Hitler loses. Mm-hmm. Maybe like when we're a caveman, we find fire at this rate.
Yeah, 10,000 years earlier.
It's an accelerated rate, and then but like now we've slowed down time to see how long it's actually going to play out in this era.
But these simulations are probably getting like that.
Yeah.
But when you're within the simulation, it has to actually play out in regular time.
Yeah.
That's why we're sitting here within the simulation.
Doing a podcast. Talking about being in a
Hopefully we live to be 80, 100 years old.
Like again, like it could...
And that's going to feel forever, but in the big scheme of things, it's a nothing. It's a blank,
Or it could just be like, how long is it going to take like humans to figure out that they're in this simulation, or that they can create this simulation and then either type in prior like whatever it is, to figure out where the next step is or what's the next direction, or okay, let's play out this. Like if we go to war with China, what are the odds, and they type it all fucking in.
I think that's why
it fucking shows.
That's why they want. That's why we're trying to create these things, is like so we can do those exact things.
Like it's absolute. Like that is insane.
Like quantum computing and AI is going to get to a point which you and I both think they could be able to run these simulations. Yeah. Well, where now you're sitting in the Oval Office in the year fucking 2100.
Prior to this conversation,
and they can just run a quick fucking simulation about, okay, so now as opposed to hypothetical, so like if something comes across the president's desk, like they have an opportunity to assassinate someone, right?
Yeah.
The Joint Chief of Staffs will come by and they'll be like, okay, here's 5 options. And then you'll evaluate the 5 options and you'll say, these are all the contingencies that go with that. This could happen, this could happen, this could happen. But now if you have a quantum computer with fucking AI technology, you can just plug in those 5 options and it'll tell you the exact outputs to the exact number. So it takes all the guesswork out of it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, perfect. Let's make this decision.
Yeah.
Or, you know what, we want this decision to happen. Whereas you're fucking guessing right now. You don't know.
Like whoever, whether it be Canada that comes up with it, Russia, fucking States, China. I don't even think they win. It's like they now can be like, guys, like maybe let's sort this shit out, and they can go and talk like president to president, like rule like fucking Kim Jong-un and Trump. Maybe fucking Kim Jong-un has the fucking simulator made, and he's like, yo, guy, like we don't fucking sort this shit out.
I've already seen the simulation. It's gonna go sideways.
This is what's gonna happen.
We got to talk.
Let's fucking sort this shit out, because if it goes to that, everything's gone. Like everything's.
My initial thought was not that it could be used for good. I think governments are using it because they're always trying to gain some sort of edge. But I do like your optimism when it comes to it. Because
again, if they see the outcome and it's like, okay, like look, like
but also that's going to come down to who fucking discovers it. I think if a Western power discovers it before a Russia or a China, we might be more inclined to say, okay, we can almost see the future. We got to sort this fucking shit out. Whereas if a dictatorship is more focused on ultimate world power, they're just going to use a simulation to find out how to get there quickest, and they're going to go fuck everybody else because I know how, if I do this sneak attack, I can rule the world within 20 years.
If I do this on this day,
Russia's now
this way,
now everyone's speaking Russian or everyone's speaking Mandarin. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or maybe everyone's speaking English because they want to fucking take over the world, right? Yeah. But no, I do like your half glass full approach to it. I like the positivity.
Because again, like, well, you got to think, right? Like, because both, again, if fucking US were to launch a missile today, China has the technology to see that they've launched a missile.
Yeah.
Well, they're just going to launch one back.
Well, that's the mutually assured destruction thing, right? And then, that's the reason we haven't had nuclear war.
We're all gone.
I was just watching this.
Because that missile's already coming over. That missile's almost there. Now, that missile's going to kill everybody there, but that missile's still coming at the other people.
Over. Yeah.
And now everybody's fucked.
That was the whole thing about the Cold War, was mutually assured destruction. If you fire one nuke, we're going to fire all of ours, you're going to fire ours, and we're all done. That's it keeps,
but like, that's what I mean. It keeps
people not killing themselves.
If the simulation gets figured out and they can type in the data and figure out, maybe the simulation gets figured out and all we can do is go back in time and just like keep going back in time
and just seeing different things.
Just adding like the new information. Like each year a new update comes out
with all the necessary data points
with 2020's fucking thing.
Yeah.
And all we can do is keep putting people in this simulation to either figure out what went wrong, like how did we end up in the pandemic, like what happened, what went wrong, and all they're there to do is to relive like 2019 and 2020, just those 2 years,
and then
start
and then use that to make sure it doesn't fucking happen again. Hopefully,
it's like, okay, well, this is what happened. This
mistake was actually made in 2012, and it set all the wheels in motion.
I don't want to get on the topics of fucking conspiracy theories of COVID, but
I'm about to.
This happened in the lab, and this is why I got out, and this is like these from step 1 to step like 17,000. Like this is what happened. And now we need to go through and figure out, like, okay, this is what we do to prevent it.
It's like the butterfly effect. That's what they would be using it for, is just to find out.
Because, like, maybe you can't, like, because, again, how can you predict somebody else's actions or reactions to whatever you do?
This pandemic was always going to happen, and it was inevitable based on shit that happened in the year fucking 1100 AD.
And again, maybe
because the wrong ruler decided to fucking take over this part, and it's all said and done anyway.
It could be fucking. They got to go back to the start of time.
Yeah, it's all been said and done.
We did something wrong from day fucking one.
Yeah, I think that's what they would find with those is like all of like there's no way to go back.
Year 2.
Well, yeah, you just keep going back, you keep tinkering with time, and something else fucks around or whatever. So I think they would go back and look at it and be like, oh, this was always going to happen. This was actually
just a matter of time.
This was written in the history books long before we even knew about it.
And it was just a matter of time.
And I would actually be curious to see if there was something that could work that out. Be like, what year could just specifically the COVID-19 pandemic been prevented? Maybe it was 2019. Maybe it's that simple.
Yeah, maybe
or maybe it's fucking Genghis Khan killed the wrong village, and if he didn't kill that village and just fucking went the wrong way down the road,
the wrong broad or whatever,
that maybe you got to go back that far, or even further back to fucking some dude threw
his cousin.
Some caveman threw a fucking rock at his neighbor's head and fucking took over his land. Who knows?
Yeah, it could, like, again, it could go back to fucking day one.
Yeah,
it could go back to day 20, like year 0, day 20.
It's just too much fun to talk about.
Okay, now hang on. Now, is it year 1, day 1, or are we going? No, it'd be year 0, day 1. Start of time.
Yeah, because I think
there's no.
I think they rolled. They didn't roll. There wasn't a year 0. I don't think there was a year 0.
Day 1, day 2, and then it'd be the year day 1. Year 1, day 1.
Huh?
Like if we go way back, like how would it be? Like it'd be.
Well, you just gotta look at
the very first day.
Let me look at. Well, I think.
Are you pronouncing it year 1, day 1? Or are you going
year 1, January 1st?
Are you going just day 1? Year 0, day 1.
Let's find out.
I think I'm going year 0, day 1. Like you would just day 2 today.
Well, yeah, today's the second day.
yeah, right.
Yesterday was BC. There's a great Louis C.K. bit about that on Netflix about his. He fucking. I don't want to go too much into it, but he goes on about like the scaling of time, based on what we're talking about. And before it was called BC, where everything went forwards or backwards, and then it fucking switched over to AD based on this one point in time. Well, is 2019 BC or AD? That's the trippiest shit I've ever seen.
What? Did we start over?
AD 2018 or for? Oh, fuck's sake.
What's it say? Oh, God, here we go.
This is why you don't Google things.
Now, this is why you
So I Googled BC to AD year, hoping to find like what the history people refer to it, because they might just call it year 1.
Yeah, because what? BC was before Christ, and then AD was...
after Christ. They mark it on...
AC?
No, it's AD.
AD. After death.
Anno Domini, it's called, which is in
BC,
the year of the
British
Lord.
Columbia.
Yeah. So I typed in and it's like, Google's like, people also ask. And then one of the other asks, it said, is 2019 BC or AD? I'm like, oh, I should probably click this.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Definitely don't, but you did. So what's it say?
Western calendar tells us we live in 2019, which is sometimes written AD 2018. AD refers to Anno Domini, a Latin phrase that means the year of the Lord. The years before birth of Christ are numbered backward from his birth. That just made me more confused.
So now are we a year behind? Like what?
Yeah.
Is this 2019?
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, it's 2020.
I think we're in the year 2019, but 2019 as a year hasn't been...
No, that doesn't make sense because
it hasn't
2019
been
was last year.
2020. I'm just using this example.
Okay.
We're not going to figure this out.
No, definitely not. Because
the Western calendar tells us we live in 2019, which is sometimes written AD 2018. So they write that out in the history books as AD 2018 and 2019. I don't know.
That's very confusing.
I shouldn't have Googled it.
Very confusing.
It's my fault.
Because
I should have known.
Because, like, I don't know. I'm thinking, again, I'm going back to, like, games. Like, when you start, like, one of these, like, survival games, it's like day 1, day 2, day 3.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like, I figured if it ended up going into years...
Then you're right. It would be 0.
It'd be year 1, day 2.
Yeah.
Year 3,
and then until you
4.
hit 365, and then it becomes
and then you got to hit year 1.
You're right.
But then would that mean, again, is year... Man, I'm confused myself.
We're scholars is what we are.
Holy fuck. I should have fucking had a gummy before this or something. Jesus Christ.
You shouldn't have. I'm more confused now. I keep fucking sucking on that
vape. This is fucking wild. Okay.
No, you're right. The way you're wording it is right, because how they're legit.
Yeah, no, but I'm just thinking like, because like.
Let me get through this.
Yeah.
BC is up until the very second Jesus was born.
Yeah.
And that's how historians are registering time. Yeah. So everything that's happened after that is the current era that we live in, which is referred to as AD or.
Yeah, but.
So you're right. So. Okay, so he's born BC.
Yeah, but
went
what about
all the way down to 0,
the people
and then it starts going back up the other way. No, it's not about that though.
Okay.
It just
It's just
It's not that's what they use as a marker for time. It's more than just like it's not a religious thing.
Forget I said that.
Yeah, it's just a marker of time. Yeah. So when you refer to
MIB,
yeah, exactly. When you refer to like fucking Nero or something like that, I'm thinking he might be 80. But anyway, Ramses II is like in the 1100 BC.
Yeah.
Which is actually 3,000 years ago, because it's 1,000 years before Christ.
Yeah.
And then that level is how we level up, or our marker going up. There's a lot of people that are probably like, you two sound so fucking stupid. And I apologize. It's because we are stupid. So
we never claim to be smart.
It's just way too much fun to talk about.
It is. Okay, I've got a...
I think you were right,
I got a crazy...
Jesus is born, now it's day 1, year 0.
Year 0, day 1. But now, this is what I'm saying, like, to go off of that...
But there is people in the world that don't register BC as a marker.
Okay, yeah, but like, so let's put it into specs of 2000.
Okay.
No, never mind. Because I just thought of it in my head. Because if we start, let's say year 2000, like 2000 on the dot.
Yeah. Start a new era. Start a new era.
We get to
2001?
2001. Now it's 2001.
It's year 1.
Yeah, okay. See, like, I threw myself for a loop there. So I'm like, is it really year 1?
I'm glad we were able to come full circle on that.
No, yeah.
We figured it out.
Okay, I had a crazy theory for you.
Okay.
I heard some people talk about this, but it has to do based on, like, the Bible. And I think I'm starting to believe that, like, okay, like, I don't fully believe in the Bible. I think things have definitely been changed over hundreds of years, like what it originally was.
Sure, it doesn't matter.
I definitely think like people have like over-analyzed it and are taking things.
I think we both established that we both really don't know what to believe. So
yeah,
it's fine.
But so Elon Musk wants to fucking take people to Mars and colonize on Mars.
Yeah.
So now when that happens, everything will be documented. They'll have documents in like books or whatever to explain Earth, so that if they do colonize, they have something to...
This is where we came from.
Yeah, we came from Earth. This is that.
We've been on Mars for the last million years, but originally we were on this planet called Earth.
Yeah.
And it'll be so long ago.
Yeah, so like they'll have this book, scripture, whatever it is, written in how we write books today.
Yep.
But then... think about like 1,000 years later, they colonize, they do all this crazy shit. That's been passed down. Say 1,000 years. Could be more, could be less. Those people that originally went there are now long gone.
Well, even after 100 years, there might not be anybody that ever lived on Earth.
No, but I'm saying like they fucking, well, okay, let's just say.
Sure,
fine. Earth is fucking gone and now life is just on Mars.
Yeah.
But those original 20, 50 people that went to Mars are all dead.
Mm-hmm.
But they've colonized. There's now a big fucking community, fucking world being created there.
They become your gods.
And they start reading the scripture and like they start reading it. Sure, like maybe at that time they still believe like those people were fucking real and whatnot, and they actually lived. But then 2,000 years from then, so we're like year 3,000.
Mm-hmm.
They now think, well, fucking Earth was made up.
Yeah.
There was no fucking Joe Schmo and fucking Jane Smith. Like, there's none of this. This is all
spaceships
bullshit.
Don't exist.
Earth was never a fucking thing.
We've always been on Mars.
We're evolution of these fucking T-Rexes that are on here. Like, you know, like...
Yeah, it will erode away.
Yeah, but again, like, I feel like people add to those scriptures... and then
their true meaning gets forgotten over time. As
the book goes on, things get changed, things get added, things get forgotten. And
I know what you're saying.
And again, like I'm starting to believe that like,
a lot of sense.
The Bible, we are maybe from a different fucking planet. You can't tell me we're not.
I'm not going to say we're not.
And we could have been like our ancestors from day one could have came here to colonize because of their planet, or we just needed more resources and we're trying to figure out how to signal back to our how to get back to our like original planet.
And it's built into us as a human. That's why we're always trying to evaluate
and that's why we're trying to get into space.
I got it.
Right? So now we're trying to get back there. There's something here on Earth that we have that they don't. Mm-hmm. Or that we didn't over there.
Or they were just colonizing.
Or they're just trying to expand.
And the original people that colonized are long gone, and we forgot why we were even here to begin with.
Exactly. And
it's
like,
a fun theory.
Right?
Yeah.
And again, like, I think that Okay,
You can go
I
deep
don't
on
think
that.
the Bible is all bullshit. And again, I think maybe the Bible was something.
I just read a book that pertains exactly to this.
Really? Eh?
Yes. So, but it doesn't pertain to the fact, it doesn't talk about aliens. It just goes back to, I think, human beings as a species. We have gone through a lot of cataclysms on the earth and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And various civilizations have been wiped out over time.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what you were saying. Like, there's things within I just read Fingerprints of the Gods by Graham Hancock. And he goes into all the origin stories of all the people throughout the world. They discuss like great floods. They discuss the earth opening up and all this stuff. So it all kind of goes back to like 12,000 years ago, like around the 10,000, 12,000 BC mark. And his theory, as opposed to we got dropped off here by colonizers from another planet, although that's, again, it's totally possible.
Yeah.
His theory for why all these sort of overlapping legends like Noah's Ark versus like the Sumerians, like flood of the Epic of Gilgamesh is in one that's from 6,000 years ago. They all talk about this cataclysmic flood, just for an example.
Yeah.
And the reason is that when the ice caps started melting, there was cataclysmic floods, and they think that maybe a higher civilization, somewhere that could have gotten to the point where we're at now, got wiped out.
Right.
Which if fucking Yellowstone blows up tomorrow, we're all going to get fucking wiped out, and there might not be much of a trace left of us for whoever survives. And then they got to fucking start all over again.
Yeah. If they could hit their head so hard that they forget the long-term memory and they have no fucking clue about anything.
Yeah, and this isn't like
that's a whole nother aspect about this whole fucking thing. Like,
exactly.
Again, like the original 50 people, maybe 48 died, but the other 2 fucking had major brain trauma.
Who knows?
And they lost their long-term memory. And
anything's possible.
They only remember.
He says in the book that human beings as a species have great amnesia. Which is true, because a lot of our stuff up until recently was a lot of oral tradition. No one knew exactly where it came from. It was passed down. This is how things go. And again, embellishments happen along the way. So whereas somebody came across to show people this technology that they had 15,000, 16,000 years ago that we didn't think existed, but it did. Right. Those people are now the gods after 10,000 years of oral tradition, writing it down. Yeah. Back to what you were saying. They just forget. This book isn't this. That theory sounds strange, but it's a 500-page fucking book, and he goes into great detail, and he's got like 100 pages of references at the back. Like this is like legitimate studied shit that he's done. It's not like a crackpot fucking thrown off theory or whatever. Yeah. I just want to state that for the record as well. It's very interesting to talk about. I don't know if he's right at all, but I think his argument is compelling that it's more likely that something us as like we've been human beings in this form for 100,000 years, and we think in the last 500 years, all of a sudden we figured out technology. Like there's a good chance that if we've been walking and talking like this for 100,000 years and we've been this smart.
Yeah, we found it out before.
And then something bad happens. So, which literally happened with the starting of the melting. Or the fuck. No, the ice caps melting, I'm saying.
No, but like go back even further, like to day one. Like think about the Big Bang. Like what if the Big Bang is that we go into a fucking nuclear war?
We wiped out the whole universe.
Except for a handful of people. And now all they remember is that there was a Big Bang.
Okay, but the Big Bang they can actually see in space. They can see it with telescope. No, just because we're talking about that.
Well, yeah, you would. But like if there was a fucking big ass nuclear war, you'd see it from space too. You'd see all the explosions.
Well, yeah, I guess that is a cool thing about telescopes because it goes back. Like we're seeing into the past when we see into space because the light hasn't gotten to us. Like we're only seeing the light that got to us 12 billion years ago. Yeah. So if something's 12 billion years, we're seeing what it looked like 12 billion years ago in time. So we're seeing just that very first glimpse, which is why we can see just the remnants of the Big Bang. Yeah. And that's how they know that should happen. But yeah, what was all that? Who the fuck knows? Yeah. They say all matter came out of the size of a head of a pin and exploded into this universe that we're in now. So, I mean, again, that's scientists. They say that. I'm inclined to believe them, but they can't also not say that doesn't sound fucking crazy.
Yeah, that does sound like
it's all crazy. And that's why all beliefs are fucking valid to some form.
And like to go off of like the whole thing, like talking about the Bible, I'm not just saying like the Christian Bible. It could have been like whatever. Like I don't really know a whole lot of other religions, but I know each religion has their scriptures. Yeah. Again, like what if, so going back to Elon Musk sends all these people away to Mars. Well, they land on one spot, but again, 1,000 years later, they're still there. How many people are going to be there in 1,000 years? Yeah. Probably a shit ton. Well, there's going to be people that want to go explore the other side. They're going to want to go east. They're going to want to go west, north, south.
They're going to branch out.
And like they're going to branch out. But like as they branch out and over time, maybe their language changes for some odd reason. Maybe they don't speak English anymore. So
they develop a new set of beliefs.
Right?
Exactly
then,
what happened here.
And then when the scripture gets passed down now, like they don't, maybe those people don't really know how to read it because they speak a different language.
Or
maybe they change
properly.
the writing. Yeah. And now it gets changed. So like
now you're back to square one. Yeah. Well, we've always been on Mars. So, we evolved here. We grew up here. What happened
it's fucking wild.
We got dropped off here.
Yeah, because Earth was we destroyed Earth.
Or whatever. Wherever we came from.
Was fed up with us and said, fuck you guys, I'm blown up.
Yeah, and then we act like Earth never existed. We've always been on Mars forever.
Yeah.
Earth looks probably like Mars does to us now. All dried up, uninhabitable. But we can see that there used to be fucking water in there. Maybe there's life there once upon a time.
But we came over with grass seed and vegetable seeds, trees, and all this stuff so that we could colonize and create fucking shit to live on.
Yeah.
And it's just taken us this long to figure out that's actually what.
Or we may never figure that out.
Or again, we could have been from an alien spacecraft and like Adam and Eve were fucking two alien dudes that came down. They were just exploring the universe.
Fucking around with Homo erectus.
Look at this fucking
look at this monkey's walking on 2 feet.
Yeah, and they could have fucking things that like create life. And they're like, let's fucking let's do this experiment. Like, let's make life or whatever. And we'll just check in periodically and see what fucking happens.
Yeah. Why not?
And the Big Bang could have been them breaking through the atmosphere into Earth.
Or into this universe.
Or that.
Because the Big Bang's at
Maybe they went through a black hole.
Who knows?
They got sucked in. Big Bang.
It's too much fun. Yeah, that's it makes sense. Like as a theory. I don't know if I believe it or don't. Right? But it makes sense as like, yeah, you show up in a place, so much time goes by, you forget where you come from. If something happened along the way that disrupted the natural course of progression where we are all going to know that we came from Earth 100%, this is how we got here and shit like that, that's why we're on Mars. If any link in that chain gets broken, you just go back to how we spread out throughout this planet out of Africa when we evolved. Broke into different sects, started speaking differently. Fucking different cultures emerged, different religions emerged, and we forget where we all came from. And then we had to figure out, we evolved in this portion of Africa, and then we fucking started to walk, and we all fucking branched off and fucked off.
Yeah.
Or we all got dropped off in this part of Africa by the aliens,
where we landed.
by the original colonizers, and then one of those chains got broken in the links.
Yeah.
And then whoever dropped us off here is long dead and forgot about us, and we think that we evolved out of wherever.
Well, the government or the U.S. government came out that they've seen unidentified aircrafts, UFOs and shit, that they've seen these things and that they have these spaceships that they have no idea like what they're
that was in the New York Times and Toronto Star.
Yeah, like I was listening to Tim Pool and Rogan. They were saying, Tim was saying that they've found, or one of them, they were saying that like to power one of these aircrafts, like the material they use.
Have you seen the Bob Lazar documentary?
No, I haven't seen it. That's what I was going to say. Like,
just watch it. Don't even go through it until that, because what you're going to go through, they explain it way better in the documentary. Yeah.
But like, it's just fucking wild. Like, they have something that can bend gravity.
Anything is, listen. Based on how scientists talk now about the nature of the universe and physics and all that stuff, they basically make it seem like anything is possible. Like, I think Einstein is
we don't know, so anything is possible.
But they can calculate it to a certain point. Like, wormholes can be possible, black holes, they understand all that shit. So, like, all that stuff is science fiction, but it's not. It's actually attainable. So who's to say that some other species from wherever the fuck else in the universe just didn't figure it out first, and now they can use wormholes to bounce around the universe. Yeah. In the blink of an eye, and they can come and visit Earth anytime they want to, and they don't. It doesn't take them 1,500 billion light years to get here.
2 seconds, they just fucking
boom, they're here, and it's done. And that's based on their nature of understanding within the laws of the universe that we're in. Yeah. It all sounds dumb and stupid, but it all sounds like all of it could be plausible. You know what I mean? Like it's all like just go off of what the scientists say.
I don't think there's a wrong answer until we actually figure it out. Like. Exactly, but then it goes back to, do you want to find out? I don't know. Like, so again, I read this. I don't think I'd want to find out about the simulation, because like I feel like there was a simulation.
Forget the simulation.
No, but like just to like go off of that, like it'd be so fucked. Like I feel like to be in a simulation, like the world would have to be so fucked up, or wherever we are is so fucked up. Like you don't want to be conscious in it. And that's why we have the simulations.
Oh, so that's why you think it's created. That's
the simulation, like
so, like true Matrix shit. The world's destroyed. You're better off being in the fucking Matrix.
Being in this fucking crazy
than whatever
simulation.
destitute world we have outside.
Because again, if you go off of VR and shit, like to play VR and do the whole VR, it's to like get yourself out of reality
for a portion of time.
For a portion of time, whether it's fucking 20 minutes or it's fucking hours.
You ever see the show Rick and Morty?
I have, but I don't watch it. Like,
okay, there's a episode where they go to like this galactic arcade.
Yeah.
And the games there are just fucking insane. So Morty jumps into this game, and then it's like showing him, and it's like this guy named Bill that looks like Morty, and he's got his wife, and it goes through his whole life from the second he's born right to where he's sitting there with his wife. She passes away, and then his kids are there holding his hand, and then Morty snaps out of it. And he's like, oh, what happened to Bill? He went through a whole lifetime sitting in an arcade, like, and it was like it was 30 seconds in the arcade video game. But he put this thing on his head, and he lived an entire life of some guy named Bill on planet Earth. Fucking
Bill.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But he was just playing a game in an arcade.
Yeah.
Which could be what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And then we snap out of it.
Yeah. Maybe technology is just that good that like.
The reason I asked.
Maybe the world is fantastic, and we're just
at
an arcade
it's just fun.
Fucking playing a game.
We're just fucking around.
Yeah.
I mean, at the current state that like simulations and video games are going to, there's no reason to think that that's not the reason that you would go within the simulation. Like Earth is great right now.
Yeah.
But playing Call of Duty is also
fucking pandemic.
For the most, everything's great. It's fine. Yes. Everything's fine. But you play a video game to fucking zone out for a bit and have fun doing something that you can't do in this world.
Yeah.
So if it just gets to a point where you can jump in it and it feels like you've been playing it for 50 years, but you're only online for 5 minutes, and then snap back, maybe you're just fucking trapped in one of those right now. Or trapped, or you volunteered to play and you're just going to forget all about it when you fucking snap out of it.
Yeah.
So the reason I asked you is, do we want to know what's beyond like this whole thing? Like, I'm not even talking about like the simulation. I mean, like, do we want to know the answers to what's actually gone on? Like, were we dropped off here by aliens, or did we just evolve? All those fucking scenarios. And the reason is because I read this article today. Okay. And I got it here. It says, this is on Forbes. This is not fucking like some crackpot website.
Yeah.
Are we in a galactic zoo protected by aliens? So just that headline alone is like, do we, like, if we're here and we're just fucking being observed and watched, do we really want to know the true nature of our existence? Because that could throw us through a fucking huge loop. We think we're much more important than we are, but that really,
make a lot of people go like fucking insane.
And that's why I'm saying, do we really want to know? Because the aliens really, they just fucking made us, they think we're interesting, or they discovered us. Like we evolved totally naturally the way we think.
Thing, yeah.
But the only reason we can't contact anyone else, this article goes on to say, and who does this is SETI, is the like this article goes in to say that these are a bunch of scientists that gather around. Yeah. And it's one of the theories that they talk about of why we haven't found intelligent extraterrestrial life yet. Because the odds say that it's out there. It's not a matter of if, but when and why. And one of the theories out there is we're in some sort of fucking zoo protected by the aliens. So we can't contact the aliens because they're not letting us contact anybody. Because they just think we're fucking cool to watch. And they come here on the weekends with their kids and fucking line up and we'll look at all the fucking cool shit that Earth has to offer. Yeah. Including us and the fucking giraffes and everything a part of it.
Yeah.
So like if something like that, let's say that's our nature of reality. We evolved on this planet. We go through the whole thing. We can't find extraterrestrial life. Why not? Oh, that's because there's fucking this species that's so much smarter than us, isn't letting us do that. Like, that would fuck a lot of people up, probably myself included, if you really found out the true nature of that existence. And that's why I'm saying, do you really want to know how far down the fucking rabbit hole that everything can go? I say yes.
I'm going to say yeah.
I say yes. I think a lot of people wouldn't be able to do it. Myself probably included. Maybe like I say yes now, but when I find out
you're fucking,
you just go crazy and blow your brains out.
Yeah. I think I would want to find, right now, I would love to know like
the secrets of the universe and the history and stuff.
How it really all came to be.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't go to school for probably anything that's going to fucking get me in the right fucking job to figure this out, but I'm
hoping the right people are studying it.
Yeah. Although if the simulation actually like if that part like, okay, let's go back in time and fucking put yourself in the simulator. World War II's happening. You got to go fucking through it.
You just had the shitty time.
I think I would fucking sign up to be part of that simulation.
I would like to be in the
I like to think I'm pretty good at video games, so I think I could fucking manage my way through a simulation.
You would think.
I would think. If I get to choose my loadout...
How many times have you died in a video game, though?
Too many.
Countless.
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine...
But what if I'm supposed to die in the simulator?
I think we all are.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So, like, if you die early, who cares? Do you... Like, that's the thing. Do you
get another life, though?
No. Do you wake up from the simulator?
I would think so.
Like, that's the thing. Like, how crazy is this simulator?
Based on the scientific method of Rick and Morty, I would say yes.
Okay. Then sign me up.
Which is as scientific as everything else we're talking about.
I'll fucking join that experiment.
Yeah, it's fucking so much fun. What I would like to do as opposed to like going in a simulator and living it, because I feel like it's too limiting almost. Like to
a simulator?
Let's say you want to go through a simulation of World War II. Sure. And it's like you're going to be part of World War II. You're going to survive the full 5 years and go through it. That almost in a way is limiting because myself, I'm an infantryman in the Canadian Army from 1939 to 1945. I go through all the battles and all the wars and I managed to survive. But that itself, that perspective is so limiting to the big picture of it all.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you just went back in some sort of like bubble where you can't interact with the world and just like time traveled and could just go back and watch, you could jump around to different points. You could be sitting in that bubble strapped up beside a dude that's about to land on fucking Juno Beach.
Yeah.
Be there. You can't get hurt or anything like that. See the full effect of it, and then you can jump over to here, travel back, and see all these points and get a much broader perspective of it.
Yeah, I think it would be cool.
But actually be able to see it.
Yeah. So going like
that's what I would rather.
If that's the way. And again, that's I think a smarter way to do it. And I think like again, like to be able to be like, okay, cool, seen it. Let's fast travel to here, or let's go back 10 minutes, but like, let's go to the other side. Mm-hmm. And again, you're in Germany's fucking little bunker or whatever. And you got
an armada sailing at you across Normandy.
You've got all the fucking head dudes of that battle from Germany's side or whatever. Yeah. But it's all translated so you can understand word
you understand
for word
everything that's going on.
What's happening, and you can figure out like just to go back and see like where their mindset was, like to like go back and actually hear Hitler figure out this master plan, or Genghis Khan and his fucking master plan.
You know the funny thing about Hitler on D-Day is they didn't wake him up to tell him it was happening. Thank fuck he did. Like he managed to fucking throw the world into that area. Like he was an insane fucking leader for Germany.
Yeah.
But thankfully he was so fucking inept when it came to military decisions because they almost won World War II.
Yeah.
But he personally intervened in generals' decisions who got them to that point. And then you can literally see, like, okay, this decision is where Germany lost World War II. Yeah. Thankfully, he's a fucking idiot. Like, as if I had to specify that Hitler's a fucking idiot. But thankfully, like, he did the things that he did, or else we could have been fucking in a totally different fucking world. Like, there's, like, 3 decisions I can think of off the top of my head that aren't even that big, but directly cost them the war.
See, I think
the first one was invading Soviet Union when they had a fucking truce pact. He fucked that up. That lost them the war immediately. And they almost still won doing that shit. Yeah, but they didn't wake him up on D-Day.
Yeah,
they let him sleep in.
Yeah, because they probably thought like, nah, if we wake him up, he may tell us what like something else to do, and
so
we get fucked even faster.
One of the things that allowed the D-Day succession to go through is Rommel. He brought in Erwin Rommel to fucking lead this fucking division. And Rommel wanted to put they knew the invasion was going to come at some point. They just didn't know if it was going to come in Calais or I think they thought that it was going to come at Calais because it was the shortest crossing point.
Right.
But either way, Rommel was the head of the army on the Western Front where this invasion was going to take place. He wanted to put his troops here, and Hitler or someone else wanted to put them here. So Hitler did the fucking wrong decision. And instead of letting them fucking sort it out tactically because they're trained generals, which he's not, he's like, you know what? You guys are going to wait in reserve. And then if the invasion does happen, you call me, let me know, and I'll tell you where to go.
Yeah.
So instead of having them in the place that they should have been, and they weren't allowed to move until they got direct word from Hitler. So the invasion's been going on for hours. And the butler slept until fucking 9, doesn't want to wake him up. And then you got to get him to fucking say, okay, yeah, Rommel, you go here.
Yeah, move here.
And I think he still sent them in the wrong. I think then he split the forces. So he's like, go there and also go to here because they thought that this was like a feint attack and they were all going to come at Calais or whatever the fuck. Yeah. So we sent half of them to a place where the fucking battle's not even happening. Yeah. We're gonna have. Again, shit like that.
Could have been a possibility though, right? Like,
yeah,
we could have attacked from both sides.
Yeah, but I mean, we didn't.
We
and
didn't.
thankfully that fucking dude slept in and made the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But it's margins like that, which aren't that big.
No,
Like they're
but,
not,
like, that's the
they're
thing with
slim
this-
margins where they can go south. If he just says, yeah, okay, go straight to Normandy, maybe that fucking reserve Panzer unit is enough reinforcements to hold the fucking beachhead, and we can't get a foothold in Normandy. We can't branch out. Now we can't liberate fucking Europe.
Yeah.
Like that's a possibility.
But like that's what I mean. Like I think
one division.
I think if we're on the right track for the simulation, I think again we're so good at like coding for games and all this shit. There's got to be something where we can recreate from again day one to fucking today, or the current day that we're in, to be like, okay, let's change this scenario, and now you're going to be there. You're going to live through. You're going to be able to watch everything. You can go from anywhere in the world.
Pause that, rewind, understand.
You can go anywhere in the world you want. These are the controls. You get to fucking go through this, but you have to take notes, remember. Maybe they're able to record the whole fucking session.
Probably be able to record it, so you don't have to take notes.
And just watch. You just need to be there and fucking
control it.
Yeah.
I'd sign up for that job.
Me too. And I think there would be like a team of 10, because how is one person going to be in every fucking place in
Just
the world
go back to where the pyramids are built, or fucking the fall of Rome, or on one of the boats. But again,
it's like what you said with the pandemic. Like it could have been back in it could have started Genghis Khan era, and something went wrong
or
there.
40,000 years previous to that.
That's what I'm saying. Like again, like it could have happened so
long
much
ago,
farther, and we have no idea. But we need to see, like, okay, let's change this, let's change that, and like let's just see what would happen.
I think there is a theory out there. I don't know a bunch about it, but it's like determinism or something like that. And do we have like the option of free will, like right now? Or has so many things in time and history been set into place already? You and I think we have a say, but really the wheels of fucking time are already in motion. And we're just on the track. We're just fucking hanging along for the ride.
Yeah.
Whereas we're already heading towards whatever the fuck we're heading towards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we were always heading for this destination. We think that we were able to affect it certain ways, but no, this shit was already set in motion. So long ago, it's all been said and done. Time's basically already written. We just don't realize it has been.
Don't know. And again, come to reality, like, do you want to know, like...
Do you want to know that you can't really affect it?
Yeah, or do you want to actually know what the end thing is going to be?
I don't know.
Or where we actually started.
Yeah,
it's one of the two, right?
Yeah, I like to think I'd be like, yeah, okay, sign me up for all the deepest, darkest secrets of all the things that I like. Put me in that bottle.
I blow my brains out.
Give me the bubble. Let me go back to any point in time I want. Let me go back to fucking when JFK was shot, or fucking whenever. Just to see.
Yeah.
Let's say it fucking shook down exactly the same way. Just to sit there and see, just to gather that information. Yeah. I think that would be fun as fuck.
Yeah.
But also, you could discover some shit that would fucking make you go crazy.
I think so, yeah.
And be like, oh fuck, what we think's going on is definitely not what's going on. And it's because I saw it in this fucking time machine bubble. Now I'd still sign up for that job.
I would, yeah.
It'd just be too fucking fun.
Whoever, if you're listening and you're creating this simulator, like, if you need a player...
They're not picking us to operate it.
Let me know.
They will not be selecting us. But yeah, we'll throw our hats in the ring. Why not?
Yeah. I think that would be... Again, like, I think if they were able to, again, start the simulation from day one, recreate it to the best of our knowledge. Like, again, we don't actually know every little detail that's happened, but we do know certain things to be able to recreate it the best we can. But if we were able to adjust and see, like, okay, this is what's gonna, like, let's change this and the simulation will play out under this scenario. I think if they were able to do that, I think it would be not too far along that they could, like, see what tomorrow was going to be.
Yeah, easily.
If they were able to figure out
how to do it.
Yeah, but like, I think the first step though is to figure out, like, again, Hitler doesn't lose, to see what that path is.
The full way up.
Yeah,
because we're only 80 years away from that. Like again, things like the wheels of motion have already been set. Like, the effects of World War II are going to echo in the fucking times of history to things that we don't understand. We think that they're affecting us now 80 years later. That's fucking nothing.
Maybe Corona's a side effect of mustard gas. Somebody dug a hole.
And that's World War One.
Yeah.
Which fucking Hitler got mustard gassed in World War One and almost died.
See, he lived.
Other things like that. Shit like that. Like, just like the margins of error.
Little fucking things, man.
Stepping out of a bunker and then a bomb goes off. Shit like that.
Yeah.
Fucking wheels of time already set.
Crazy.
It's already set. I think the moral of the story is we don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
No, we really don't. We're just shooting the shit. But I like talking about this shit.
I love talking about this.
This shit gets my fucking mind going like fucking crazy.
Yeah, so...
And I'm, like, again, like what you were saying with the simulation, I was probably at about a 60% in belief that, like, the whole, like, we're in a simulation thing. Mm-hmm. After our conversation, I'm probably at like an 85.
You're that high?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm a little higher on it.
Well,
but again, like, I also believe, like, the whole alien aspect.
I think about it in very simplistic terms because I'm gonna find...
Well, if you look at today's world with VR and everything, like, I think we're closer to that in, like, the whole, like, simulation thing than aliens.
I think so, too. I think it's more likely that we live in a simulation than we were made by aliens or dropped off here by whatever. And I think, more than likely, we evolved exactly the way that we think we did. But I do think that we've forgotten certain things due to global cataclysms, which we can detect right now. We know that there was fucking, like, from the year 12,000 BC to 10,000 BC, the Earth was a really bad place to be.
Right.
There was a lot of changing tides. There was high things. We probably lost a fuckload of people. And if the fucking dominating civilization like we do was set in the wrong fucking spot and it got wiped out, why would we think that any of the shit that they had written down would translate over to the remaining survivors in the fucking four corners of the globe who didn't interact with them in any fashion? I think that's fucking probably more likely.
Yeah.
But back to fucking video games. I was thinking about this as we were talking. Like, a fun video game to be if we're at the fucking Galactic Arcade would be to like strap in and be like, okay, you're a Canadian soldier in 1939. Your game starts from the day you enlist, and you go through and see how far you can get, and you live every one of those days and every one of those years. But only it takes you 5-10 minutes to do in the simulator.
Yeah. But it feels like
you could go. It's going to be 2 years if you die at the fucking beaches of Dieppe in 1941. That's your game over.
10 seconds.
And yeah, and it's only fucking 5 minutes in the simulation. That would be. That's where I hope this shit goes.
Cool, yeah. Because again, I think it's not far off. Man.
But when you go into it, you're not allowed to know that you're in it because it would. Hear me out. Yeah. I'm just playing a fucking.
Okay.
It's just a thought experiment. I'm just thinking of, right?
Sure.
So you sign up for the arcade game. You know that it's only the game, even if you make it to 1945. You just don't know
what game you're going.
No. You know. So me and you, we go to the arcade. It's like play World War II. So you sign up, you pick your fucking character, you pick your army, and you pick the year you start. But as soon as you push, and you know the game's only going to be 5 minutes long maximum, even if you live throughout the whole war.
Like,
you can do whatever you want.
Can you go through with like your buddy?
No.
Oh,
not in this way. Just hear me out here.
Okay.
So you select the army you want to be, and it starts from the Second World, and you live every day, and it feels like you live every day. But you know the game's only going to be 5 minutes. But as soon as you push start, your fucking mind's wiped, and now you're fucking Joe Smith signing on the dotted line to join the Canadian Army in 1939 when war is declared. And you go as long as you go. Because if you know that you're in a simulation, you're going to play fucking differently. You know that Dieppe battle is going to be a bad battle.
You're just saying like it's got to like
temporarily like block your. You gotta leave. You don't know that you don't know you're Chris Waller like signing up for it.
A DMT overload to get yourself out of your.
I'm not sure if that's what they would use, but sure. Sure. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Something like that.
You almost need some sort of block
where they could like again like it would have to like go into your head. They would have.
They'll figure it out.
They'll figure it out. But like,
we don't need to get in the nuts and bolts of it.
It would have to be something that they could like counter, like instantly, like overload your body with something else, or
they just
wake up that part.
They just make your brain dormant, and now you're Joe Smith signing on the dotted line.
Now, do you remember what happened in the game?
So once you come out, you remember.
You remember the game,
but you remember it almost like it was a fucking dream because you can't. Your brain can't store 3-4 years worth of memories, including the thinking you were someone else as a person.
Yeah. True.
But you just come out of it. Once you come out, you're like, oh, fuck, that was a fun game.
Fuck. I did this. I got my leg blown off.
Yeah. You remember all that.
And I lived.
But it can't be so in depth that you remember as if it would happen to you specifically.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Okay.
I'd sign up for that fucking video game. That'd be fun.
I think it would be cool too, like, to be able to, like, all these classified missions that, like, military, fucking capturing Osama bin Laden. Mm-hmm. To be able to do a fucking simulator of that, but like you can fucking sign up with 10 of your buddies.
And go through
and now you guys are the fucking
See, that would be fun, yeah.
And
that's like online multiplayer.
It would still be cool because like it would be awesome. Like everybody would know everybody's name, so somehow they would have to do that. Like again, your memory gets raced, so you're not Chris Waller, I'm not CJ Shade, you're fucking John Williams, I'm fucking Carl Smith.
Yeah.
But I know your name, I know your call sign, I know this, I know that. You
there's
know everything.
Things. Yeah, there's innate things.
Yeah, and like we can
boogie.
Do the whole thing.
Go through the whole
like
set.
Somebody could be like the fucking pilot if they choose to be the pilot.
It starts 8 hours before the actual mission.
Yeah, and you go through
the whole game time's 8 hours.
Days, like you can. I would say you get to choose. Like, do you want to do like the training in like briefing leading up to that whole thing?
I should probably know how to operate this weapon they just gave me.
Well, if you chose
or is that already built in?
If you chose to like go in like hours before, you would know.
See,
like,
that's why I think you got to sign up day one because then you got to go through all the training. That's why
I think that would be.
That's why I was saying that with World War II, for example. But also, if you want to do the Osama bin Laden on this same game, but you're signing up at 18 years old at fucking Buds training. And then eventually it leads down to that path. You know it's going to lead down that path, but once you win it, you have to go through all the years leading up to that fucking one mission.
I think they couldn't. I think that would just be like an objective. Like if you did everything, like if you hit every fucking checkpoint, did every like milestone.
Yeah.
Then you could.
The last mission is the Osama bin Laden fucking takeout team.
It's hard to say like you would go day one. But you're guaranteed to do that because if you're shit at fucking stage 2 and stage 6...
Well, you could also get killed on a mission three years before that.
That's what I mean.
And then the game ends and you jump
out.
That's
why I think like if you were able to...
And that's why you keep going back in. She's like, I want to fucking beat the final boss.
Or like, well, yeah, that too. But it would be cool to be like, okay, we've only got 10 minutes, bro. Let's just do the Osama bin Laden mission.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You can do that. You go in and like the characters you pick or whatever, between which ones you pick... Those are...
you should be able to pick levels.
Yeah.
Or you could do like the full immersive experience.
Yeah, which I think would be fun.
Here's the fucking caveat to that game. This game should only be in real time. Anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, no matter whether you pick a full 5-year mission, 10-year mission, or like
I don't think
3-hour mission.
I think you would have like your 5 minutes where you're doing like one mission. Your
don't
5
say
minutes.
They can't do it?
Shut up. You know what I mean? Like they have their like one mission where it's like, it's going to be 5 minutes of like real lifetime, not in game, but it's going to be like a fucking 4-day mission.
Well, that's what I think we're saying.
Like in the game. No. But like if you
real time's only 5 minutes, but it's 4 days in the game. It feels like 4 days.
If you were going to do like a fucking 6-month thing, that's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe the longest is an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And you can fucking do an hour, and that's like again what you were saying to do like fucking 2 years. Fucking World
See how far
War
you can
I
go.
or World
Just sign
War
up day
II.
one, see how long you go.
Yeah.
But the maximum gameplay is like an hour, no matter what.
Yeah, it'll accelerates. In your head, it accelerates the time in a sense.
Exactly, but on
like
the real world, Inception.
Inception.
Oh, it's coming full circle.
Coming full circle. I don't think this was a made-up movie, guy.
I told you.
Oh shit. Oh,
this bourbon's working.
Yeah, my face is warm.
50%. I didn't know this was 50.
And it's smoother than the other stuff.
It's nice.
The Elijah
Wood produced by Four Roses.
We're drinking Four Roses, not Elijah, but single barrel.
We're not drinking Elijah Wood's blood.
No, I don't mind it. Seriously, I'm gonna try this week to see if I can get a Weller's. We'll open it for a couple weeks. We'll finish this one.
I had a few other things I want. Do you have anything else you wanted to go through?
Yeah. Well, we got to do the Did You Know?
All right.
So.
What do you want me to do here? Pick one?
Yeah, pick one.
All right, do the first one.
Well,
because we've been talking about aliens.
I don't have any. We got to look them up.
Oh, you want me to look one up?
Yeah.
Okay, I got some.
Like I have a couple here, like that I just found. I totally forgot to fucking look some up. Some Did You Knows. But was there anything else you wanted to cover? I think I covered.
Not really. We loosely. This all worked out pretty well because last week we kind of left the episode saying we were going to talk about
conspiracy
theories at the end, but we the only thing we discussed was on air, and then after that was it. We never had any discussion since about what we wanted to talk about.
We were going to talk about. No, I wrote down I wanted to talk about the whole like Bible thing.
I've got 7 things I never got to talk about, but it was good because it worked. Like the way the conversation was going.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to go that route. I got a few Did You Knows. If you want to do a Did You Know.
Well, I don't know. We can talk about whatever. If you got something you want to talk about.
No, Steve, did you know I'm kind of fucking... It's all down to, like, the fucking alien stuff anyway.
Okay.
Or
so we can just continue.
Or we can just
later.
fucking not do...
We'll discuss after, and maybe that'll be
all right, so one of the things I saw, this is on NASA's website.
Yeah, okay.
NASA, for those at home. Could future homes on Moon and Mars be made of fungi? So fungus is not... it can survive in the vacuum of space. It's a fucking miracle thing. Fungi and mycelium and shit like that. Yeah.
So like it could just float around in space?
Yeah.
Nothing would happen.
Travel on an asteroid and land on a planet and then
fucking
live on the planet.
Planet seed.
Yeah. So NASA wants to create the initial like moon bases and Mars bases for colonization out of fungus.
So they're gonna fucking send fungus.
Let it grow
to like Mars and the moon or whatever and see what happens.
Yeah, so what we see as fungus is not even a percent of what we see. So like when you see a mushroom come out of the ground, that's part of such a massive organization.
Okay.
Or like organism.
Can I interrupt you for a second? So I was shooting an exterior of a house down in Markham this past week, and there was a guy. So it was like kind of like in Unionville, and like that used to be like old cottage country for some people, like way back when. So this is where like the house, the backyard is like all fucking forest and everything. So we're out there, we're shooting the backyard, and there's a guy in the back with a fucking grocery bag full of mushrooms he just picked out of the...
But isn't it chanterelle season or something like that?
I have no fucking clue.
Or do you think he's just picking fucking psilocybin?
I think he does it all the time.
Well, a lot of people go foraging for mushrooms and then come home and cook them at home. Really? If you know what you're looking at, yeah.
I have no idea.
So like truffles and chanterelle.
I knew some people
like those. Like people don't like usually grow those on farms. Like you go out and find them. That's why they're expensive at restaurants.
So you have no idea what I'm looking at.
So I don't know what I'm looking at either, because like
again, there's probably some that fucking kill you. Have you ever watched?
Well, there's some that will look like you could eat them, and then fucking which one? Sorry,
The Norseman. It's on Netflix.
It's like a spoof on Vikings. Isn't it? It's pretty funny.
Yeah, they did
a couple episodes.
One of the scenes is like the chieftain is like getting this like peasant or slave to eat mushrooms
to see if they're poisonous.
Yeah, but he gives them 2, and they're like, the guy starts like seizing and like dying, and they're like, well, which one did it?
Oh,
we gave him both. Which one was it?
Which one was good? Which
one? And then it's like, okay, you eat this one, and it's like, oh,
50-50.
Yeah. It's like, well, fuck, I don't want to eat it.
Yeah, fuck you.
Let's just put it down as this one.
Yeah, that shit, like, you can go out, people do that all the time.
I thought it was the weirdest fucking thing.
Well, that's why the ban on psilocybin mushrooms, the one, like magic mushrooms, is so fucking stupid, because those grow naturally.
Yeah, okay. Out of all the drugs, I don't understand weed being like as bad as they say it is, and or like why, like, again, nowadays it's fine.
It's obviously legal.
But like before, like, and same with magic mushrooms, like it's literally stuff the earth produces. Like,
yeah. And human beings have been interacting with it since the dawn of time.
Yeah, and it fucking...
We went through a really weird phase where there's so much more to why they put the ban on drugs, but we used to be
like, what's alcohol made of? Like, how do you get...
Alcohol's the most dangerous drug there is.
No, but like, how do you get like alcohol content?
I think you ferment like crops of some sort, like whether it be barley or wheat or potatoes or whatever, and you distill it, which means you boil off the alcohol like the fermentation creates the alcohol. I'm not a scientist. This is probably all wrong.
Yeah.
But something to the effect of shit starts to rot and it produces alcohol. I drink the stuff. Yeah, and then I
don't know how it's made.
And then you boil off the alcohol and then you get what you have to drink out of the bottle.
Okay.
I think, question mark? I don't know if that answered your question, but it's a process. It's not a naturally occurring process.
No, it's not something you can just go and like pick off a fucking plant.
No, but we as humans have also been interacting with alcohol. We figured out how to process and distill alcohol since we were cave people. So again, it shouldn't be illegal because we've been interacting with it forever. No. Same thing with marijuana. Same thing with fucking certain psychedelic mushrooms. All these sort of things we've been interacting with as a culture. Like ayahuasca, the people in South America figured out how to synthesize it so that you can get high on it if you drink it in a liquid form, because it produces DMT. They figured out how to make that out of plants and then trip out for 24 hours.
Jesus, that's a...
It's basically it's like making a fucking bottle of bourbon.
Yeah.
But they made a fucking different form of that. That's illegal. But this, you can fucking drink this and die.
Yeah.
I think everything should be legal. I really do. Even the fucking fake shit.
No, see, I don't think the fake. I think if you have to fucking combine fucking 17 other like products to get one and fucking pour harmful materials like fucking. Have you ever watched Gordon Ramsay on how like he does the whole thing on how like cocaine is made? He goes into like the fucking
diesel. It's gross.
Yeah, and then the guy siphons, like he lets shit sit, and then it separates, and then the guy siphons like just the fucking like top layer or the bottom layer of this stuff, and then from there it like fucking dries, and it does all this other shit. Like I don't think that should be legal.
Okay, but
because that's taking like fucking.
I think that's a different conversation. The reason I think it should be legal is different from what you're saying. I think there's a conversation to be had about what is natural and unnatural and you can base legality off of that. I think that's a different conversation. I think it should all be legal because purely based on the fucking form of black markets and voids.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that's my pure reasoning for it to be legal because, and also here's the thing. People have been using fucking drugs, whether you have to make them in your fucking bathtub or whether it grows in your backyard and you cut it off and smoke it. Yeah. And they're going to continue to use those drugs until the fucking end of time, it seems, because we've been doing it forever as a species.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying now.
Now, what you need to do is allow these things to be legal and then tell people how to fucking use them responsibly, the same thing we do with fucking alcohol. And fucking cigarettes, which kill more people than anything, are still legal, and it's a form of fucking way to get your nicotine.
Yep.
They tell you how to use them. They warn you about the use of it. Hey, if you're pregnant, you probably shouldn't drink alcohol. You probably shouldn't do this. If you're pregnant, you shouldn't do these things. But when you have a black market and a void on certain drugs, which lots of people are going to use anyways, just make it fucking legal. Yeah. Take the fucking organized crime aspect out of it. And now people in hindsight, like not in hindsight, in fucking theory can be safer using said drugs, whether you like the drugs they're using or not. You know what I mean?
No, I totally
like. I don't think.
I thought you were going a totally different way with it. So
no, I don't think people should be using methamphetamine and cocaine and heroin. No,
I totally.
But I think they should be allowed to do it.
Yeah.
And I also don't think it should be illegal.
I also think making so many things illegal makes a lot of people want to try it and do it.
There's a taboo to it
because it's illegal. They're doing something bad and fucking...
What's the one thing you focus on in fucking high school? Can't wait till I'm 19 so I can go and buy my own booze. Right? That's all you think about leading up to. And then when you hit it, you're like, okay, it wasn't so nice. Well, no, but that's just for
majority,
like, or your license. Yeah, I can't drive now, but I can't wait till I'm 16. If there's a post that you got to hit, you're going to obsess about it and you're going to want to do it. Like some people might steal their fucking parents' cars like when they're 12. No. Not even that. People fucking have stolen cars. This just happened the other day in Toronto. Like 10-year-olds took off in their fucking parents' car and almost killed themselves doing that.
There's kids like fucking younger than that.
Yeah.
Hopping in a car and going down the fucking highway.
Exactly. Now, I don't think 7-year-olds should be driving, so I'm also poking holes in my own argument. But whatever there's...
If it was something that was... It's not, again, like, I don't know about you, but like we used to live in like a cul-de-sac. And we would turn in, and my dad would always put us in the front seat. We always used to got to like steer the wheel.
Yeah, I would do that in empty parking lots with my parents.
Yeah, and again, like
they're at the controls. They're fucking around. Yeah.
We got to play around on the tractor. Like
yes.
Again, we learned about all this shit when we were younger. So I guess like for me and my brother, it wasn't so much as like, oh, I gotta drive.
Yeah, I gotta go crazy.
It was the freedom of like having our own vehicle or like being able to get into a vehicle and just like go and do our own thing. It wasn't like I gotta drive. I gotta drive.
The same thing said in cultures that don't have strict limits on alcohol consumption.
Yeah.
So if you're 12 or 13 and your parents let you have a glass of wine with dinner or beer, this is a whole different fucking conversation about whether it's healthy for you to do that. We're not getting into that, but if you look at them as cultures, they're not psychotic when it comes to fucking drinking. No, because it's just part of the thing. They're not like, if you look at the United States, it's 21 until you can fucking drink. Those people are going crazy.
How many people have you heard of that they get away to college, university,
drink too much? And we've all done it. And we've all done it.
Yeah, but like, okay, we've done it, but at the same time, like our parents were pretty lenient. Like,
yeah, but there's a lot of people that weren't.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. The people that got fucking like house lockdown on weekends, Friday nights, whatever it was, never drank in high school when they went to college or university.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to drink because I was never allowed to drink.
Out of fucking control. How many stories did you hear about people being hospitalized, having their stomach stumped? Because, again, it wasn't... They something just fucking went buck wild.
Yeah, they didn't know how to handle it. And again, different conversation as to whether you think one way is better or not. But still, if you're introduced to something slowly over time, it becomes less of a big deal. Yeah, I noticed that going from fucking Toronto to Montreal when I was 18 because they were a year difference in age. I went there like fucking, yes, finally can drink in bars, party, whatever.
And they're like, whatever, guy.
But there it was totally different, relaxed thing. Yeah. And they're the same fucking age. It was just a different, totally different fucking mindset.
Yeah.
And it was because they had a very minimal fucking relaxed stance on something like alcohol.
Yeah.
Which again, I think, although fucking all these other drugs are scary and there's much bigger conversations to be had about whether you should do them, but people are still going to do them. And you're not going to stop people from ever doing whether they're legal or not.
Yeah.
So fucking decriminalize them and let people know how to fucking use them safely and also study them because you can't study them as a scientist when there's a fucking ban on it. Or it's very hard to do those studies because no one's going to give you the funding for it. What, you want to do a study on fucking long-term effects of fucking methamphetamine use?
Yeah.
Why are we going to give you fucking money for that? Methamphetamine's bad. It's illegal.
You know,
we don't study things that are illegal.
Do that though is because the fucking government makes too much fucking money off the whole fucking drug scene.
Off the fucking criminalization of it and stuff?
Yeah.
Broke the fucking pen clean off.
No, just the
tabby. How so? I think they could make way more money if it was decriminalized. I think they could save money. I think it's a save money thing. You're not prosecuting people for non-violent crimes, right? You're not institutionalizing people because the way we have things set up now, if you get caught with too much cocaine in your pocket, you're going to go to jail. So now that the taxpayer is paying for you to be in jail for a non-violent crime, you just wanted to fucking party on the fucking weekend. Again, different conversation whether you should be doing that or not. Fine, I'm willing to have that. But it actually costs a society more to criminalize things like that, as opposed to decriminalizing them. And now you focus on things on like therapy. Why are you using these drugs in the first place? We're not going to criminalize you for using these drugs, but why are you using them? Is it because you went through some sort of childhood trauma, which is fucking probably 95% of it?
I was going to say, it's probably the highest fucking...
That's the number one, like they say fucking weed's a gateway drug. Yeah. No, it's not. It's fucking, people have a lot of shit they can't deal with, so they escape to fucking other drugs. I've fucking done drugs as well. Like sometimes they're fun, but sometimes you go different fucking route, right? And that's not always the case.
I think a lot of people, especially when it comes to weed, everybody looks at like, oh, they're just trying to get high. When like, again, before, at least when we were in high school, like I never knew like a whole lot about CBD, but CBD was in the weed we were smoking. Mm-hmm. And maybe that was what we wanted. We didn't need the THC. But we knew fucking smoking the weed fucking chilled us out. And we're not, like, at least for me, like, if I smoke it now, like, I may be having a hit or two and that's it. And even then, majority of the times, I probably want the shit that's mostly CBD. Just so I fucking mellow out. Like, I'm not trying to fucking trip out. Like, here and there, yeah, sure, let's fucking have a good time. But
like, I'm sure there's lots of people that have done fucking opium just to try opium.
Oh, 100%.
Not because they had any sort of childhood trauma or anything like that. They just did just to fucking have fun.
Do you remember the salvia phase back in high school?
Yeah.
I remember people literally fucking planning weeks in advance just because they were going to try it.
Well, yeah. I think, yeah. And you should be allowed to try it. But you should be informed of what you're trying.
Yeah. And I think this is what may happen to you.
The biggest problem with
what you may feel
with the prohibition on all the drugs is we lost a lot of, like, if you look up until the 60s, there was a lot of research on a lot of these drugs, especially psychedelics, and research into if they can help you with depression and all these things in variable doses combined with other things like therapy and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Not just using them recreationally to get fucked up, but using them for a purpose to achieve some sort of goal. There was a lot of research, and a lot of it was positive research on these things because you could do it because there wasn't a fucking wide sweeping ban. And then in the 60s and 70s, they fucking banned everything. So now you have a 40, 50 year period where there's been no research. And now that things are starting to relax, you can finally get back into the research. So we just lost 50 years of science based on... We banned these things not based on science, and we actually lost science because of that.
You would also think...
there was no like science going like, hey, you need to ban these things because this is happening. They did it for political fucking reasons. They didn't do it for the fucking safety of the general public.
Yeah. You would also think that like with the whole ban on like alcohol at that period of time, that they would have realized like, okay, we banned it, but now look what we created. We created all these like criminal organizations that are selling it under the table, doing all this illegal stuff, and they're making fucking bank.
Who's the most famous criminal of all time? Al Capone.
Yeah.
How did he become famous? Because they banned alcohol.
Yeah. And you would think they would have learned from that. And if they, again, like what you're saying, like legalized everything and educated on everything.
In an honest fashion. Because they don't educate on it honestly.
You wouldn't have like the cartel, or like at least they wouldn't be as big of a player as they are today. Did
you ever have, we had one in public school that I can remember. I think it was the only ever time we had these. It was like a drug awareness day in public school. Probably grade 4 or 5. An officer from the fucking police came in. They showed you all the drugs and they gave you the whole spiel of drugs are bad, don't do drugs. Marijuana is a gateway drug. It was one of these like
I remember like going through school like everybody.
But they treated it as like it's an information session, and the information is they're all bad. Don't even look at them. Don't even try them. But they're not being honest when they say those things, because a lot of people use marijuana for the things you were talking about, CBD and all that stuff. Like, okay, so you're saying you told me when I was 6 or when I was 10,
it's a gateway.
It's a gateway, and if I smoke one joint, then I'm gonna be a fucking cokehead and jump off a building.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm gonna be fucking doing angel dust in no time.
Exactly. Which, do fucking angel dust. If you want to do angel dust, fucking do it and have fun. But just know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And also know the dosages.
And also know what will happen to you during that, like during the trip.
So you can do it safely.
Yeah. Or put yourself in the right environment.
Exactly.
And not close to
railroad tracks or whatever you need to do while you're on angel dust.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'm a big pro like individual. Everyone should be allowed to do what they want to do if they're not hurting anybody else. Sure. And if someone wants to fucking sit at home and do heroin all weekend, that has nothing to do with me. It doesn't affect my life. But if they do fucking heroin and break into my house and fucking shoot me because they want to steal my drugs, now it's a different thing.
I also think
but one is not necessarily to the other.
There's also the like, okay, yeah, they're not hurting you or whatever, but you also got to think of like inside the house. Like if they have kids and they're fucking shooting heroin and not looking after the kids, well, that's a whole different thing. Like
absolutely, but that's why you allow people to do these drugs that they want to do and be addicted to, but also couple it with, okay, well, you got to do some sort of therapy, and let's find out why you're doing heroin every fucking weekend. Switzerland did it. They decriminalized. They went through a major fucking heroin epidemic, similar to what we're going through now with the fentanyl crisis, or we're going through.
Yeah.
Which you don't hear about since COVID, but I'm sure it's still happening and probably at the same rates. Switzerland realized that what they were doing, which was criminalizing drug use, wasn't working. So they said, okay, fuck it, let's try. I think Portugal did the same thing by decriminalizing drugs. They decided that what they were doing wasn't working. So they flipped the whole model. They decriminalized anything. We're not going to charge you. We're not going to put you in jail. We're going to create safe injection sites, and we're going to allow you to do these drugs here. But you got to fucking talk to a therapist about it. I think the fucking rates of heroin went down like in the 80-something%. People stopped using. And they were allowed to use it. They weren't going to be criminalized for it. They went to safe injection sites. You can buy it here and you can use it here, but you got to fucking talk to a counselor for at least 10 minutes.
Yeah. And
a lot of people were getting to the reason, I'm not doing heroin because I'm enjoying it. I'm doing it because my fucking parents beat me as a child, or whatever your fucking reasoning is. And then a lot of people stop using heroin because they're getting to the root cause of why they were using it anyways. So actually it did the reverse effect of what you would think. You would think if you open everything up across the board, people are going to be going fucking crazy. They're going to be... No, it was actually doing the opposite. A lot of people were getting off of heroin. They were fucking not doing it anymore. And they fucking don't have a problem with it and haven't had since.
Yeah.
Same thing with fucking weed here. You stop... And also it takes the burden off your fucking justice system. You don't need to expand that justice system to house more criminals for fucking non-violent crimes, which doing drugs is a non-violent crime.
I feel like after... Like, I would say after... We'll say the first month that it got legalized here in Canada, weed, that... It was like, whatever, like nobody gave a fuck anymore.
But weed had been decriminalized for so long that weed stopped becoming a big issue.
If you want to smoke, you go smoke. Yeah. Now, again, it's still frowned upon. Like, don't fucking smoke dope while you're on a fucking job site.
Yeah. Also, there should be more discussion about.
But look at CBD. Like, again, like just because somebody's smoking a joint doesn't mean they're fucking getting high.
Not necessarily, no.
But again, it's like, how do you fucking...
You don't know.
You don't know.
It's
because it all...
But the main step is it's now legal, so now you can go through the things of how to deal with the different variables, which will naturally present themselves, and then you can deal with them accordingly. Like, they decriminalized marijuana in Canada like 20 years ago. So like you could have up to an ounce on you and you're not going to go to jail.
Yep.
So that did a long way of fucking curbing the culture. But the thing that we should be talking about more, especially as weed's legal, is there's a lot of studies that say you should probably not smoke weed until your fucking brain's done developing.
Yes.
Which is like 24, 25 years old.
But because it was illegal and because it's so frowned upon, and
also there's studies saying you shouldn't be drinking this fucking bourbon before you're 25 as well.
Even though it's legal, it
doesn't mean you should be doing it.
But like,
cigarettes are legal. You should not be smoking cigarettes.
I feel like it's so frowned upon in like a lot of households are like, Jimmy, you better not be smoking that fucking devil's lettuce.
Well, the problem is they grew up in an era of prohibition where all they were told was it's bad, bad, bad. It leads to this,
but I know. But like, even with all this information that's out now and it's now legalized, like I feel like it's still a fucking big thing and majority of households where it's still frowned upon
because it was like a cultural thing. Yeah, it's going to take time.
Yeah,
but step one is
fucking. I think at least with weed, I think it needs to kind of escalate how quickly the information about it gets out. Because again, it's not all about fucking getting high. No. Like CBD does fucking wonders for a lot of people.
There's kids that use it for seizures.
And I was just going to get to that.
Yeah.
And again, having a drop of CBD oil in the morning or in the evenings, or one each time, like one in the morning, one in the evenings, they haven't had a seizure in years because of it.
I was watching this. I don't even know remember what the fucking name was. But it was about. I was probably 12 when I watched this, and I haven't seen it since. It was about varying states and their legalization of medicinal marijuana. So this is 20 years ago.
Yeah.
15 years ago. So back then, nobody had it legalized anywhere. Most countries didn't. So it was showing you the comparison between a state, let's say California, and a state like Louisiana, and how people that actually need to use marijuana for certain medical ailments, not to just get stoned like you were saying, but to help with certain things. There was this one girl, and it was a fucking most shocking thing I ever saw. There was this dude that would walk around, he'd smoke these fucking marijuana cigarettes for whatever fucking chronic pain he had. And then there was this one girl who had a kid, and she had to fucking sneak around and deal with drug dealers because she lived in a state that didn't have any sort of medical legalization. So she's fucking going downtown on a Friday night to fucking score a dime bag like a fucking junkie. She had some sort of palsy where she spoke, like it was very hard for her to talk. That's how she spoke. And she fucking snuck out one Friday night, bought this weed, came home. She looks like a criminal, but she's just trying to help her palsy. Dude, she fucking packs a bowl and she's talking and she cannot do that. And she fucking lights it, inhales. And as she's exhaling, her palsy's disappearing. So she's like, and it slowly starts to go away. And now I can talk totally normal. It was literally that fast. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? I'm 12 years old and that was the most visual representation to me that like, what are we doing here? Like, why is this illegal? Just look at this girl right here.
Yeah. No, and I'm totally in agreement.
She's a functioning member of society. She just needs this to fucking help with whatever policy she had.
Yeah.
She has a kid. She's fucking has a job, but she's got to run around in fucking downtown Tulsa, Oklahoma, dealing with fucking people that are part of organized crime.
Yeah, that too.
Putting herself in danger to take something that actually benefits her as a fucking person.
Yeah. She actually
needs.
Well,
she found a way to treat it.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
But that was the most like visual representation to me.
No, and I totally agree with you. And I do apologize at the beginning of there. Like, I thought you were taking that whole thing totally different.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just very pro. Like, I'm gonna contradict myself a bunch of times with a lot of things I say, but I'm basically pro. Like, just fucking leave people alone. Let them do what they want. Like
legalize it, just educate people.
I just mean across the board with everything.
Yeah.
Like, the number one thing that people benefit from is proper information and honest information.
Yeah.
So let's just operate like that and not be
There's research about all the drugs that are out there that we know of. Mm-hmm. There's been research done about them. So educate people on them.
Yeah. Tell them how to do it because people are not going to stop just because you say it's illegal. They're going to do it. So tell them how to do it safely.
Either which way or another.
And put more, take more emphasis off of prosecuting and put it more into helping people that have drug problems.
Yeah.
Because that's very beneficial. And the numbers show, like, you want to talk about fucking numbers and saving money as governments. That's the number one fucking way to do it.
Yeah.
Just totally flip your mindset. But again,
Easier
not enough
said
information's out there to talk about that. So what are we doing? Wrapping this up?
Yeah, you want to wrap this up? It's been on the clock right now, 2:12. 2 hours, 12 minutes.
Let's definitely pack it in.
All right, so let's, you want to do a couple did you knows?
Okay, just do a couple quick
We'll
ones.
do a couple quick ones. So one, did you know there was 100 folds on a chef's hat?
No.
I had no idea. Do you know why there's 100 folds on a chef's hat?
That's a better question. Why?
Because it represents 100 ways to cook an egg.
Is there actually 100? Probably.
I think so, yeah.
Nice.
I think so. Yes,
sure there is.
that tall pleated white hat that chefs wear, technically called a toque, has 100 folds for a reason, according to Reluctant Gourmet, sure. The pleats used to signify a chef's level of experience, like the number of ways he or she knew how to prepare eggs. So I guess it can change, but
I guess the standard
I think
chef
every chef would know how to cook an egg 100 ways.
Probably. If they got to a point where they gave them a hat that had 100 folds in it,
they would.
They know how to cook an egg 100 different fucking
I thought
ways.
that was. I didn't know it had 100 folds. I just thought it was a cool hat.
Do you have any others or?
Yeah, I got a cool one, like just to go along with like what we talked about today. So space is completely silent.
Yes.
There's no atmosphere in space, which means that sound has no medium or way to travel to be heard.
Yeah.
Astronauts use radios to stay in communication while in space, since radio waves can still be sent and received. Do you know what the hottest planet in our universe is? Or solar system, sorry.
It's one of two. It's either Mercury or Venus. Don't tell me. I'm going to say Mercury because it's right beside the sun.
All right. So you're wrong.
No, it's a trick question. It's Venus because of the hot gas.
Yeah. So Venus is the hottest planet in the solar system and has an average surface temperature of around 450 degrees Celsius. Interestingly, Venus is not the closest.
That's from greenhouse gas effects. No, it's not second closest.
No, Mercury is the closest. But because Mercury has no atmosphere to regulate temperature, it has a very large temperature fluctuation.
Venus is...
So I guess it's the highest like average
temperature
where, because it said Mercury because that atmosphere...
I don't even know if Mercury has an atmosphere. It's more.
That's what it said. It has no atmosphere
yeah.
to regulate temperature.
Well, then
so
that's why. I guess I should have been paying attention.
Yeah, it fluctuates.
I think this is worth looking at. I think Venus is the closest planet to us in size. I think it's pretty much the exact... I could look this up. I'll look it up. I think it's exactly like ours, except it rotates the other way.
I thought that was pretty cool, though. That,
it's pretty much our twin system. It's pretty much our twin planet.
450 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, because of all the gases. They cook themselves. It's warm. Really warm.
That's a new type of sauna.
Fucking right. Okay, if you want to get in touch with us, mail.2csinapod@gmail.com. Add it CJ Shade on Instagram.
Yeah, or hit me up on Instagram, yeah.
CJShadePhotography.com for all of your photography needs. And that was a fun episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, if it was annoying, we apologize, but I think we're
going to do more conspiracy theories because I kind of like them. I like this whole, like, I'm into aliens. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. I'm into aliens.
I have so many things about aliens that we didn't talk about.
Okay, well, I guess next week
but they're more like
a whole bunch to talk about.
Yeah, we got lots of topics to talk about. But anyway, your feedback's always welcome. And again, we really appreciate anyone that keeps coming back to listen. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for listening as always, and deuces.
Deuces.